Ben told you it was the last stream. But he was wrong. I mean, he didn't know. We never told him.
Because it was us.
All along.
Hi, everybody. This isn't gonna... I was gonna say a quick bonus stream, and that's a lie.
Quick, you with anime?
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Loading Ready live video entertainment streaming network. As Ian would say, with a clap of his hands. Does he clap his hands? I don't think he claps his hands when he says that.
He
claps his hands whenever he says everything. Have you never noticed this?
I do a whole stream with Ian. He holds a controller when we talk, so...
No.
I don't
You just need to give him a controller to hold.
Yeah, he can't
Because he's throwing my best friend under the bus. He has a...
Ian's your best friend?
He is. He has a...
Aw.
Yeah. Anyway.
So cute.
I don't know if he'd say the same thing about me, but that's okay.
I mean...
Oh, my thing is going off.
That's not Ian who's talking to you right there.
Although
cool. That would be funny.
That's something else that I have to deal with later. So, hi everybody. We are going to do a... We got this in for about 2 hours.
They can't stop us.
Don't think it's going to take 2 hours.
If we go for 4, then nobody else can snipe the last stream out from under us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would be willing to give Ben the props on having the last actual stream, since we're just kind of just did this. And I didn't know when I wanted to do this, and Heather was like, well, you just do this tonight. And I'm like, okay, let's just do it tonight. So, hello to everybody who's out there. The point of tonight's bonus stream is we're doing the... I'm doing my anime review from fall 2019 and preview for winter 2020. And Heather is here to do the same.
I'm going to say some shit.
You did not watch as much stuff because you didn't like anything I picked.
Yeah, so for the last
I
couple
want to be fair.
Yeah, okay. You want to be fair about this?
I do, yeah.
For the last couple of seasons, I've dropped off of watching a lot of anime, so it's basically Beach will look through a bunch of stuff on a list and say, this is the stuff I'm going to watch. And then I look at it and I'm like, okay, cool. One of 4 of these shows is something I'll watch.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. We both dropped a lot of stuff.
We did, Jesus. So
can I just first
mm-hmm.
Can I be a shill?
Mm-hmm.
Can I please be a shill?
Well, look at this.
Okay, so first of all, Beach got me a Road Quest bottle, and they're the best bottles ever because they have the pocket. I really wanted this bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you made that happen. But also,
it's a cool ass bottle.
We got these shirts made.
Now, hard to tell. This is 2 different. You can see up here. There's 2 different tones.
Yeah.
It's what they call black and black frost.
Whoa.
So it's kind of a very, very dark charcoal, but
I'm
it's
a
black
DC
frost.
villain.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna turn around to show them that on the back, of course, to let you all know that that's where that comes from. And if you guys are feeling this,
yeah,
we have them on store.loadingreadyrun.com. And thank you to everybody so far who has bought one. There is we're still prepping the mystery tee for Road Quest, and we're hoping to have that design in soon.
Yep. But I'm wearing like a lady size large, if that's helpful for your sizings.
Yep. They're all raglans. I decided I want to do a 3/4 raglan because...
Look, if you don't want the pocket, you just take it off.
Yeah, isn't that cool? It's super cool.
Transforms.
So you have to kind of lean it in like that.
Okay.
Which also means when you put it in the dishwasher, you can take the pocket right off and then you can wash it.
Yeah, good place for your stuff when you don't want... Like, I don't have pockets in anything.
Yeah. We only have, I believe there's up to 3XL or 4XL. I do not believe that that this is, this blank actually came larger than that. Couldn't figure your username is asking about 5XLs, which is why I bring this up. If you are waiting for a shirt in your size, send me an email. If it's not something on the website that we already have made available, if you send me an email, I can see whether or not we can actually get a blank or anything in that size. We can't always do that, and we might not be able to do that because I can't just order one of a shirt, unfortunately. I do have to order like multiples, but you know, I do my best. Send me emails when you're interested about stuff. You can also just go to the website if we're out of something, and you can select a size, and you can type in your email address, and it'll let you know when that's back in. And I do watch that. It doesn't. I'm not doing a fulfillment on that every month, but I am trying to do it when it actually gets to a point. So yeah.
Now, like that bottle literally just came in an hour ago, and I haven't rinsed it. So we're gonna use the cups that someone gave us.
The
for mail
double-walled tumblers that were sent to us that I think you guys saw in the last. I probably only need about a half a cup. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If it lists 5XL as a thing and it's out, then it's out of stock. But if it doesn't list 5XL at all as a choice, then you need to you should just send me an email and ask if we can do that.
You can email info@loadingreadyrun.com.
That's right.
Beach checks that email, and now that is his problem.
We're drinking Kirin brand milk tea.
It's the new year, which is the excuse I'm using to eat
Yeah.
on stream, and we're being big weebs about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we got some tamago
Okay.
rolls and some other things. And
A raglan is a style of shirt.
yes,
And
it
if
has
you
to
can-
do with the sleeve.
Yeah, and let me just do this because maybe it'll be easier if I do this. You can see how there's how it's black and gray, and that follows all the way down. The shirt is gray,
Yeah, so usually
but you
it's
can
just
follow it all
it's
the
a
way up to
cut
the.
between here and here.
This is hard to kind of
It's kind of
illuminate.
slanted.
Yeah, you can
So
see that
be
it cuts
careful
up to
with
there
your
like
phone
that.
like that.
Yeah. So that's how that works. The seam is cut on that angle. That's what a raglan is. It's
Adam wears them all the time.
people call them baseball jerseys a lot of the
In
time
fact,
because
I
they're
have
popular.
I have a Persona 5 one I wear.
Yeah, exactly.
They're fun. Yeah, baseball t-shirts, sports shirts, or names people call them by.
Yeah.
I mean, probably baseball shirts and not sports shirts. I'm eating sushi.
Yeah, let's do that. In fact, let's start the whole thing. This corner's probably fine for us to be in.
Sure.
Great. We're on anychart.net if you want to follow along, because basically I'm just going to kind of step through everything. And we're going to start on fall of 2019 because I want to review stuff that we've watched and going to talk about things that I'm going to talk about stuff that I watched.
We're gonna go through the whole list.
Yeah.
And then you'll see us be like, didn't watch it, don't care, moving on.
And if I didn't watch something, I guess let's put it this way: if I liked something, or I didn't like something, or I watched something, or I didn't watch something, that has nothing to do whether you watched it or didn't watch it, or whether you liked it or didn't like it, or whatever. This is just because we have a place to do this.
Tell you what.
We're gonna do this here.
Beach
so
watches stuff I don't like all the time.
Yeah.
I watch stuff he doesn't like all the time, and we still don't care.
yeah, don't ever feel embarrassed for liking the things that you like. At the same time, don't expect other people to understand why you like all the stuff that you like.
Yeah, Beach still makes fun of me for that time I ate macaroni and cheese on rice.
Just can't.
And we're still married, so,
just,
I don't care what you say, it was delicious.
I'm sure it was.
And I wouldn't recommend it, because it's certainly a kind of thing to do.
Yeah, but it
But
ain't.
you know what?
Yeah. The winter 2019 would have been last year, so winter 2020 starts in January. So it's hard to keep that straight because you have to think about when the season starts, and fall season starts in October, so October, November, December, and then winter starts in January, so it starts in winter. Winter
Yeah,
is
it's
January,
all
February, March.
Ass backwards.
Yeah. So.
Dark Morford, I made Beach put it on the list. I haven't watched it yet, though. I think.
All right.
Maybe I'm thinking about something else.
Release the Spice. I don't remember that.
Nope, I'm thinking about something else. I haven't watched that yet.
Let's start with Boku no Hero Academia. I am not watching My Hero Academia because I gave up on the manga when the second fighting tournament started way too fast for my taste, and so I was like, I'm sure this is great. It sure ain't my style.
It's hitting like season 5, and one day I might go watch it.
Please enjoy the sequel to Boku no Hero Academia 3, which is Boku no Hero Academia 4. Sword Art Online. Have never watched, listened, played, or done anything with Sword Art Online, so I'm not watching that. Nanatsu no Taizai. Kamigami no Gekirin. All right.
We can't possibly be watching this.
Third season. We're not watching this. So
Okay,
we're
cool.
going to move on.
Moving on.
Okay. So,
You
I
haven't
clap
been
my
watching
hands.
this?
Shinsho Yusha.
I don't
Kono
remember
Yusha
this.
ga
Oh,
ore
wait.
tsuie kusei ni shinsho sugiru. Or just Shinsho Yusha. Or just the cautious hero.
Right. This is the one I got bored of
Yeah.
immediately. But you like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
say
reading
it
the
that way
manga.
because a lot of anime comedy just doesn't flow for me.
So, as you can see, am I holding the right mouse? There we go. I'm watching the right thing. As you can see, boobs everywhere in the key art, because all the goddesses gotta have big boobs. They aren't the main characters. The point is Seiya gets summoned from Earth. He has incredibly high stats for being level 1. And she, Rista, the blonde-haired goddess, she has to protect, she's trying to protect a world. And it's an S-class difficult world.
So imagine.
And so she summons him to come beat the Demon King as you would, and he's like, cool, I'm going to lock myself in this room and I'm going to do push-ups until I'm ready to actually do that, because time passes differently in this realm. And it's a comedy. And
It's the land of isekai.
Yeah.
It's like the in-between world of like, here's all these other worlds we're gonna send people to.
Mm-hmm.
We're in charge of that. And she has grabbed this one because S-class planet, I'm assuming, is very hard given all the video
it would
game
be the
knowledge I
absolute
have.
hard, yeah.
And
S always comes after
yeah,
A.
she finds this one guy. He's like, oh, level 1, his stats are high. Finally, I can do this.
Yeah. She figured she lucked into finding this guy. He's a pain because, well, Seiya's the perfect kind of hero. He's Squall. He's a Final Fantasy hero. He's very handsome. He's got great abs.
He's basically heartless.
Yeah.
I don't like
he has
him.
he has just no affect, and he's just basically like, yeah. The thing is, as the Maricat puts it, the main character seems unnecessarily douchey. He's just like, I'm very standoffish and very by myself, and I'm only going to do things by myself. And you realize after a while, it's like the reason for that is because he doesn't want to put anybody else in danger. But he never says that. There's no sort of emotional realization in his part. He's just like, I'll just keep, because all I have to do is train myself. All I have to do is like learn how to do all these things. So I'll just do that. And yeah, I think it's funny because I like the overkill nature of it, and how they have to ramp up the adventure fast enough to be able to deal with that. And that's interesting, I think. But yeah.
I will say the joke that did make me laugh in that show,
Yeah.
I mean, if they're still doing it, would have lost its edge of being funny. But the thing where she keeps tripping over herself and then thinks she's really hot, which is not funny of itself, but that slow-mo voice change they do to her voice when she's just like, oh, he's so hot, but it's just like, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's kind of funny.
They definitely lean into the fact that, like, they do the thing that I really like, that I love when Japanese voice actresses do this. When they have the whole Japanese, the whole voice actress protagonist kind of voice, and it's always that one way, and then they drop into that really, like, dark and disturbing kind of voice.
Yeah, like that's actually pretty funny. Like I said, this is a comedy thing, which usually doesn't gel with me, but I do think there's some interesting stuff where it's like at the beginning, she's trying to go through things. He wants to be way too overprepared, like excessively than what you would do for like a level 1 world. But every time they show up there, it's S-class, and the villains are like, no, we're smarter than that, and we knew, so we'll show up here, and then they have to do a much harder fight. And I'm like, okay, there's some interesting things in it.
Yeah. It's definitely meant to, like, I mean, it's based on a light novel. It's definitely meant to accelerate the whole thing to a point where it's like, rather than having the whole, we mess around and do whatever and we work hard, and it's like, no, this guy he just leans into it way too hard. Not because he's like, all right, I'm so excited to be here. He's just like, I'm here. This is the thing I'm doing now. I guess if I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it the way that I'm gonna do it, which is gonna work really hard, not involve anybody, and just keep everything to myself.
Yeah,
so,
which is just also kind of weird because she takes away all of the stakes
Yeah.
at the beginning of the show by telling him, like,
well, if you die, you'll
she's-
go home.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She's trying to urge him into going and doing this thing, which I assume is because she wants it done faster, or she just wants to get going more than anything else. But yeah, when she says, well, if you die, you'll just go home, basically this place will be dead because of that, which is, I guess, the stakes of it, but you'll be fine. So you just get out there and do some things.
Anyway, I find that really interesting. I was reading the manga. I liked it, and the anime I really like how they've realized it as well. It's further ahead than the fan translation, so I liked it. Shokugeki no Soma, Shin no Sara. Of course, I'm not watching Food Wars, so I hope you are enjoying
Oh, it's
Food
still
Wars.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
It's a long series.
I mean, it's Shonen Jump, although those are all long.
Assassin's Pride.
Oh, this looks cute. Was this any good?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. Well, moving on.
Ore wo suki nano wa omae dake kayo.
This looks like something you would have watched.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's got all of the tropes in it that you tend to like.
I don't know. I just didn't feel. When you see this, it's like, okay, because it's two girls asked him on a date. Except he's not the one they asked on the date. He's trying to manage. And I was just like, oh, you know what? This looks like a pseudo harem anime. I don't care. So there we go. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good thing it starts with a B, because we're going to spend a lot of time talking about this.
So weird.
God.
So weird. Like, not bad, but weird. You will know in the first episode if you can handle this show or not. Because if you can't handle the first episode, you probably need to drop it. But it is, if you're slightly curious even in the first episode, keep going.
So I started reading Beastars. Somebody, oh, you should read it. It's like Zootopia, except that it's anime. And I'm like, okay, cool, but like the manga, right? It's Zootopia, but it's manga. I'm like, okay, I'll start reading it. And I was like, oh, it's not. It's different.
We played the intro song of this in Rhythm Cafe.
Yeah.
That was one of my songs.
And that's called jazz.
It's a good song.
It's the manga. As I started reading it, I'm like, there's like a lot of, like, it gets serious, right? Because, well, okay, it opens with a murder. There's a murder at this high school. A friend of Legoshi, who's actually named after Bela Lugosi.
That's the wolf.
That's why they name him that. Lugosi was named by the mangaka after Bela Lugosi. If you're wondering why it sounds the same, but yeah, Legoshi the wolf. He was friends with an alpaca named Tem. Tem gets murdered immediately. And the thing is, you don't see that in the manga. You get to see it in the anime. So hang on,
Kind of
we
like
don't know who
off
kills him.
screen, sort of. He's being chased.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. Then, and he keeps talking to the. It's uncomfortable.
What is great about this is that what I think is that I think the CG animation is really, really good, and it dodges the uncanny valley because everything's very smooth, and so, but because they're not human, you can avoid a lot of that kind of like, this doesn't look right because everyone's
There's
CG
one
animated.
animal that bothers me.
Oh yeah,
The tiger.
oh yeah,
He doesn't
Bill.
look right. His muzzle area looks not right, and it bugs me.
That's fair.
Everything else is great
So
in terms of that.
but his Legacy's very like, he's a very gentle wolf, as it says in the thing. He's also just very like insecure, and he doesn't really, he's a like the typical teen, right? He's kind of growing up, but he doesn't really have a good handle on who he is, and he's trying to understand and like who he's becoming, like that kind of thing. This is not going to be for everybody, and it's his drama and slice of life and psychological, and those are all very
why
true.
It won't be for everybody.
And it can be a hard watch. I had said to Heather, actually, we watched the first episode or so, and I said, if you don't like Haru, who's the dwarf rabbit, this one right here, if you don't like the show because of her, hang on. There's way more to her than just what's happening, and that's
not what threw me off.
That's fair, but I was like, that's the thing I would recommend to people. Is like, if you're watching, you're like, oh, I don't like Haru. It's like, watch a few more episodes. You get to see more about. I think you get to see more about what like who Haru is and what she's all about, because she is definitely a central figure. Louis, the I believe he's a red deer actually, but he's the deer. There's a lot going on with him.
I actually want to know more about the panda character, who I can't remember his name ever.
Yeah,
because he keeps getting called Panda,
and
and then he keeps
Gonin
saying that's
or
not
something
his
like
name.
that. I can't Gomim or whatever. I can't remember his name again either. He's a doctor. He's a psychologist. Yeah, there's a lot going on with all of them, and the manga just blossoms. Like it gets really, really big, and there's lots of stuff going on, and it still all kind of circles around what Legoshi's doing, but there's lots going on in this world. The person who does it did a side manga as well called Beast Complex, which is just little stories that happen in the world where all these people live.
It's high school.
Yeah.
It centers a lot around a drama club, because a lot of them are drama club students. Haru's actually a part of the gardening club, and then there's a very big difference between school life and like the outside world, and it has a lot of interesting stuff in terms of like what this world is and what the world building is, especially between carnivores and herbivores, and the underlying tension that carnivores are still dangerous, even though you're not supposed to think of them that way. And
well, the
that
world
murder that you start with, they don't really like. It's there, but it's not. When it first started and they showed that, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be some sort of weird detective show, and it's not.
No.
You said they go into that much later in the manga, which they didn't get to this season. Because
it's like, this is like a high school, right? Like somebody gets murdered, and especially in this world where carnivores and herbivores, they
call it getting devoured.
Yeah, where they both live, like they both live in the same world, and they don't. They have to coexist.
Yeah, right. And Legosi's dress style kind of makes him look like he's a detective.
Yeah, but they're all high school students. Oh, except the Panda. He's, like I say, but they're all high school students. But because they all have to coexist together, there's a lot of world building that goes on in the manga as well that pushes a lot more out, which is why I don't want to talk about that, because you're only going to get 12 episodes of this, and there's a bit that's kind of spelled out for how these things work and how everyone kind of gets along. But the idea is that everyone is trying to get along, and meat is not a thing. Like, predators don't eat prey, except there's a back alley market where you can get meat.
So, like, the parts that
and it's fucking dark.
I really wish they had expanded more upon was, like, they kind of mentioned that all of the students who are carnivores are eating some sort of a protein supplement, and for some that's, like, eggs and stuff, but it's something different. It's meant to be that, even though it's not that. And then... But they also had, like, this one very brief thing in an episode where they told everybody to make sure you spent enough time in your environment zone.
Yeah, they have.
And they showed Legacy in, like, kind of like a dark thing with like a full moon with some other wolves, and they didn't really go into that a lot. And I would have liked to have seen other creatures versions, because like you see the cafeteria and you can tell where all of the gerbils go to eat, because they have tiny tree things with tables that like the larger carnivores stay away from because they're taller, and so they sit at the bigger tables. Like just kind of want that.
There is a chapter in the manga that they actually do illustrate in as I think like the first 5 minutes of one episode, where it talks about that there's a chicken that goes to school. There's lots of chickens that go to school. And of course they all lay eggs, and all of these animals also eat eggs. So what does that mean? Enjoy that. That's a hell of a chapter, and I loved it, because I was like, I love how all the world building is like, we're not going to ignore a lot of these aspects. They all have to be addressed somehow. So how do you address it? And the more this person wrote the manga, the more they had to figure that stuff out. And they just kind of put it on the table and be like, then it's got to be like this, doesn't it? And it's like, oh, I guess it does. Oh, that's kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. It is uncomfortable. I feel like by design. I've been calling it arty, so you said you only needed half.
Yeah, I think I need a full one. I'll pour it. Yeah.
The reason I keep calling it arty is there's like these scenes that they keep showing where when Legacy is taking in like the scent, they're showing kind of like almost a pink perfumey thing entering through his nostrils, and it'll like enter his head, and there's stuff that happens there that reminds me a lot of that Bones anime we watched, the one with the girl who was really obsessed with bones, and then every now and then she would have like that CG moment.
Tsunozaki or whatever it is. Yeah.
But then
I was thinking
also,
more like Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess.
And then there's also like these scenes where when he's talking, and these ones I really like as a visual effect, where he's talking to Haru, and then he has all these like inside thoughts about like what is going on, how do I deal, and he's not paying attention, and they have an outline of his head covering the whole screen that is semi-transparent, so you can see the scene with the two of them talking. She's still talking to him, but it is like you're inside his head and not really aware of the scene, even though you can see it. And I like that. I also really adore the opening with the two of them dancing in what looks like
the needle-felted creatures.
Yeah, like a stop animation thing.
It was very La La Land,
It was really
thought.
great.
Right? Like the trailer you see for La La Land where they're all dancing, and like this was kind of the same feel. Where it's like everyone's getting along and doing whatever. And yeah, I really like it. It said it's going to be continued as well.
Yeah, the ending said we'd see you in a second season.
Yeah, you will not get a resolution to the murder because, again, it's a high school. And if you think about it, why would one of the students in the high school become a detective and try to figure it out and do whatever, right?
Because I watch a lot of anime and it happens a lot, Beach.
Right. But this
all
is
the
like,
time.
That's not how this works.
Student
There's just
detectives
lots going
everywhere.
on. People get really fearful and they don't know what to do.
How many student detectives have you seen that have been the grandson of the whatever great detective, and therefore, even though they've never solved a case in their life,
yes,
the time's come.
I just feel like this does so much to try to establish itself as, yes, they're animals, but nothing else should be different about how these animals act, except for the fact that they are still animals. They might be bipedal. They are still animals. Again, I think it's super interesting. If you liked it, then I'm glad. If you didn't like it, that's fine. If you have not seen it, watch some. It's a really cool idea, I think.
I do find, like, sometimes the anamorphic things weird me out a little bit. Not like a ton, because they look fine. But occasionally you'll see, like, the bunny girl with her very long human-like fingers just elsewhere, and then I just kind of look at my own fingers. I'm like, yeah, hands are weird.
Well, like Legosi's hands he has long, really bony fingers that have really long claws on them.
Yeah, but that almost seems like
somehow appropriate.
Somehow right? Whereas you see a rabbit with human hands and you're like, shouldn't it be more like...
Yeah. Shouldn't it be more like a paw? No, anyway. Psycho-Pass 3. Well, we're not watching Psycho-Pass, so... No Guns Life. I dropped this.
Oh, right. This was the...
Yeah. I had to watch it because I had to know what the hell... Because this did not pass my sniff test because of this. Whenever I see a show that takes an English word and puts it in quotes or turns it into a goddamn noun, I always think this is not going to be very good because they had to create special words for things and they had to use like English words to mean a thing and to do whatever. And I'm always like, anthropomorphic is what she meant.
Oh yeah.
But that kind of thing, it's like, but the thing about his head was transformed into a gun. I'm like, I gotta know how this works out. And I got 3 episodes into No Guns Life, and I was just like, no, okay. I'm not feeling that interested in the story.
I have to know. Do you see him eat? Does he have a mouth?
Yeah, he does have a mouth. Yeah, this part here on this dude, that's his jaw, and the space that's in between is just a big teethy looking.
Does he shit bullets?
No, that never comes up. But yeah,
How
not
is
to.
this not a comedy?
The thing is like I was expecting it to be like it could be funny in some ways, but of course they want it to be like a drama and an action thing, and it is. And I was kind of prepared for like Heat Guy J kind of thing, where he might be like he's an interesting cyborg and like this kind of. But I don't know, it just dropped me.
Where his eyes? I assume the sight would be where your eyes would go if you were a gun.
I have no idea what counts as his eyes. There's doesn't really
I don't know,
get into that.
It's called the sight,
Yeah,
so you must be able to see out of it.
yeah, it would make sense. It would have to be right on the top, but and he can't shoot his own gun. He can't reach around and fire his own head gun. Somebody else has to.
Wait.
His head gun is designed so that only someone behind him can pull the trigger. He's a functional gun.
How is this not a comedy? They should have tried making it a comedy.
It could have been very interesting and different, but yeah, that's the thing. It's like he's not a robot. He's a cyborg. Okay, again, people whose bodies were modified to make them into dangerous weapons, and how they did it for this guy and for a lot of people apparently during this war is they modified their heads into being guns. There's a lot of like other things going on. Give it a 3-episode test because you'll get a good sense of what's going on, and you'll probably be like, I'm not sure I'm into this either. But hey, maybe if you are, great, and enjoy it if you get into it, because
Yeah,
I couldn't.
I mean, I can understand why you want, if you make a person into a gun, why you want to make it so that they can't shoot themselves.
Well,
Off,
and then someone else had to like
they have all the
someone else had to like ride on his back and like pull the trigger on his head or something like that. So
sounds so silly.
I think it just has to do with how you can do it. Like, I don't really. Is it like a bargain DVD bin anime? It kind of felt a little bit like it was, and it sucks because I mean that's Madhouse. Like that's them saying, "Hey, this is the thing we want to make," but whatever. So anyway. Is that from... Okay, so somebody sent us the I have a gun for a head, I don't need to explain shit. Is that actually... That looks like it is from No Gun Life. Because I thought it might be from Doro Hedoro, which is coming up next season, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Fate Grand Order. I'm not watching any Fate, and definitely not Fate Grand Order, so...
I'm so turned around by the Fate series that I'm behind, and I don't know what order to watch anything in anymore.
I kind of just don't care.
I mean, I like it.
All right.
I enjoy it a lot, actually.
You're going to see this referred to as Choyoyu. Chojin kokose tachi wa isekai demo yoyu de ikinuku ryo desu. Or Choyoyu is how they've been nicking it down. Thank you for the...
Choyoyu.
Yeah. So, these 7 high schoolers are the ultimate high schoolers.
Yeah, welcome to Danganronpa, the one that Beach likes.
Yeah.
Except without the killing bear.
So, this guy is, it's his businessman, you can see. He is the best businessman in the world, and he's like 16. He's worth billions of dollars, and he's like, they're all 16 or 17 years old. She is the best swords person, samurai person in the world. She is the best doctor. She's like goddamn blackjack. She is the best shinobi or kunoichi, or she's actually the best journalist in the world is what she is, because she can get information from people and like do whatever. She is...
That's the magician, right?
Right, sorry, I was thinking of her. She is the best engineer, and I'm like, she is? No. He is the best magician in the world. And they constantly make reference to the fact that he's so pretty that he's like a girl, and I effed that up real good, and I feel good about that.
Oh,
but he's the finest.
I wasn't sure.
He's the finest illusionist in the world, and yeah, she's the best engineer in the world. To the point where, and what I love about her actually is that she's so good at what she does that every government in the world is after her to try to steal her away and make her build things for their government. And so the only way she could be safe was to build herself a space station, and she lives in space orbiting Earth. And this guy is the finest high school politician in the world, which explains why he's the Japanese prime minister.
Trust me, I've played Danganronpa. They got nothing on that.
Sure. All of them get onto a plane and get zapped to another world, and then they're like, okay, so we got to figure out how to get home. We're living with a bunch of people who are like beast people now. They all have ears and tail and whatnot. Hey, some dude from the local feudal establishment has come by to irritate them. And that's not fair and it's not nice. And the businessman has gone off to the city to try to earn money for everybody, and has decided, you know what, I'm just gonna basically, because the guy who runs the guilds over there is a dick. He's like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna revolutionize their entire economy. And then he comes home and he's like, hey, I've done that. And the politician's like, okay, well, also that we have this other problem with this other feudal lord. Hey, how about we remake the entire world?
Yeah.
Let's overthrow an empire. I love it because, I mean, it's just drama. The horse shit. This is a comedy through and through. Like, there's some serious elements, and boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
it leans into the ecchi thing. Like, it sure fucking does.
Yep. Yep. It very much into that.
Yeah. But it is definitely, as a light novel too, and as a manga, it is basically made as a, we are so good at what we do that we are going to be like 3 steps ahead, and we are going to like do all these things to try to overcome, and we're going to make all this amazing technology incredibly fast. If it wasn't for the fact that the engineer here could make all this amazing technology incredibly fast, they just would not be able to like
So,
live up to that.
I'm seeing some people in chat say like, well, how can you be Prime Minister of Japan if you're under 18? Trust me, when it comes to an anime or any kind of thing where they're like, oh yes, they are the ultra whatever, suddenly they are so good, nobody cares about that rule, and either that rule gets changed.
Why would you ever...
Or they have a special workaround or something. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah. There's lots going on, and I don't want to give away everything. But it is, I think it's kind of like the epitome of goofy isekai nonsense, because it's just so improbable that I'm like, you know what? Fine. Do have fun. This is just a goofy ass series about hey, what could, if 7 of us were incredibly good at what we do, let's just do it, and let's hand wave this shit away, and let's just make this happen.
So what I do like about the start of this one, for the 5 minutes I've seen of this show, I've seen bits and pieces of it as you watch it. It's not my jam, but the fact that it's not like they're on an airplane and they get zapped. The airplane gets zapped and goes into the other world, and it crash lands, which means even if we had like a back in where they come from scenario going on, it would be like, oh, their plane got zapped by the Bermuda Triangle. I guess we're down 7 really talented people now. Whatever. Moving on. Though I don't know, were there pilots and stuff that they explained, like other people were there and died, or
No.
they were on some sort of mega plane?
No, she flies the plane.
Oh, okay, well then that's
because
fine.
she's the engineer. She's made an autopilot to do everything.
But I'm asking because I don't know. I watched
There you
5
go.
minutes and I saw a plane crash and I was like, oh, that's cool.
I think this is goofy as hell wish fulfillment fantasy. You know, it's the kind of thing that anyone is like, you know, and you'd be like, great. And also lots and lots of skin and no visible nipples. So there you go.
That would make it hentai.
No, it's not. If it had visible nipples, it'd be like, we'd be leaning over that again. So, but there's no visible nipples in it. So it's just lots and lots of skin, right?
Then it would be hentai.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just ecchi. So anyway, goofy ass thing. Try it. It's probably going to be good. Azure Lane. Based in a video game. Sure. Didn't watch that. Bokutachi wa benkyou ga dekinai. Oh, this is the 2nd season. Well, we didn't watch the first one, so we weren't watching the 2nd one. Hata age kemono michi. This is not in alphabetical order, I just realized.
Well, whatever.
Have fun.
This is the wrestler one?
I dropped this. I got 9 episodes in and decided I just had enough because I felt like I was spinning my wheels the whole time. Interesting start. This dude here is a wrestler.
Yes, chat can't tell what order we're gonna go in, which is great. So this
excellent.
order is best.
Great, I'll leave that alone then. So Hata age kemono michi. Or this guy here is a wrestler. He goes by Kimono Mask. That's his cute little dog. He loves animals. He ends up getting summoned by her, the one with the two Odango in her hair that also make her look like she has bear ears. He gets summoned to as the hero for this alternate world, and he shows up and immediately grabs her and puts her in a German suplex, exposing her buttocks to the world, and then everyone calls her Princess Buttocks. And I'm like, okay,
All right.
interesting. But the idea is like he begins life as a pet shop owner in the other world. Well, he's like weirdly like pervy for animals, and there are beast animal things here, and I kept waiting for anything. The only thing that I'd watched, like where I was about ready to give it up, and I watched another episode where he started training. I don't give a shit about spoilers for this because I don't think it's necessary that you watch this. He started training this girl that showed up, be like, I want to be trained how to fight better because I hear you're the demon beast killer. And which?
I want the beads.
You want the edamame? Okay. You're here the demon beast killer, and he hates that name because he doesn't kill demon beasts. He wants to be friends with demon beasts. And he always attacks and beats up people whenever that happens. And it's the same goddamn joke over and over where one guy calls him that, and then the dude has like an amazing, cool... This is a completely different thing. This one dude has a really cool sword or lance, a mythical whatever that he found, and he's like, I'm going to go defeat the whatever with this. You want to join me for this demon beast killer? I've given you a suplex, and you've dropped the sword, and the girl who's with him, that one there, Shigode, I think her name is, she ends up grabbing him and be like, oh, look, a sword that fell out of the sky, and she goes and she sells it, and that's how they manage to stay. It happens so many goddamn times. It's real freaking boring. But there's like interesting moments where he goes to confront the orcs, and and in order to like deal with the orcs, he like challenges them to wrestle, and then he wrestles them. And the problem I have with this is that everything it's like any other time that I watch anything that's pro wrestling based in a Japanese anime, everything's treated like a work. It's all real. It's all real. So he has to be monstrously strong. And I'm like, okay, fine. But then he's teaching people how to wrestle, and he's doing things that would kill them. And yet it's like, oh yes, that's acceptable. This things. And I'm like, I can't deal with the fact that when they show pro wrestling as an anime, that it's always that way. And I'm just like, so anyway, yeah, later on he trains this girl here, the one with the blue hair. She's part lizard person. The only part of her that's lizard person apparently is like her lower torso. And he trains her to be like a really good fighter and kind of trains her how to be like a wrestler as well. And then he decides to have a tournament. He gets backing from a dude in town who just shows up randomly. It's like, we're going to build a wrestling ring and have like people show up to watch, but also like we'll have people show up to fight each other, and we'll have like stalls set up so people can buy merchandise and food and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, turn this into a pro wrestling anime in the middle of nowhere and have him be like weirdly pervy about animals and stuff. I don't care. That's fine. But build in the pro wrestling thing, and they kind of just let that be like, it's just a thing that's happening, and now that's done, and we're gonna get more like, oh god. I think it's probably good for some. I'm surprised this doesn't have more of an ecchi title, in fact, because he's so pervy.
I know you have a lot to say, but you can take a breath.
I'm just gonna move on from this. I didn't enjoy it. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Maybe you like that better. So anyway, Babylon.
We did watch part of this.
And then we stopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me do this one. Babylon is like a political show.
Starts that way, definitely.
With mystery, and it's interesting, and there's this what's his name? Zen Sasaki?
I can't
Or is
remember.
that okay? There's a guy with his partner,
Seizaki, yeah.
and he works for a special organization. They get to
He's a prosecutor.
They get to take on very special cases, and it's like, oh, okay, I like that kind of thing. This will be great. And while they're investigating, they're investigating a politician. They're trying to figure out something that's going on with them, and they're trying to track down a lady that has been with them because they're like, maybe that person will give us the intel we need.
And you can see why that's important, because all the stuff that's cut out here is a drawing of a woman. Mm-hmm. All the stuff that's cut out.
while he's while his partner has gone to track, because they're watching the politician, and then him and the lady friend that they're with split up. His partner goes to track that lady. He goes off to do another thing, and he's checking with stuff. He gets a random text from his partner, basically saying, "Hey, sorry.
I tried my hardest, but
it's nice working with you," kind of thing. There's a lot of suicide stuff in the show, so beware of that.
The dude ends up killing himself, and it's not clear as to why, because there's no reasons given. There's no, but it all made to look like a suicide. So we're thinking, oh, it must be like a setup to be like that. Like it's going to be really dark. It's a mystery,
and that's hard, but still like could be interesting. And then you find out that this lady that they've been following is like basically
spoilers.
Shapeshifter of some kind. Like she's not, but she always looks different to people. There's this weird psychological effect that she has on people, and it's like, oh, it's uncomfortable, but sure.
She's incredibly seductive. She can walk past somebody and whisper words and basically get them to do stuff.
Yeah, so she's helping people commit suicide whether they want to or not.
Yeah, by implanting the suggestion in their head.
Is, again, uncomfortable, and it's a thing, and it's like, well, okay. And spoilers, but we got to the part where she just started brutally chopping people's limbs off in front of it, and it was torture porn, so...
We're like, no, we're done. I'm not interested.
Immediately. We didn't finish that episode, because I didn't want to watch her chop the person's head off, too.
Yeah.
Which is what was going to happen.
And the thing is like, it made it clear to that point that this was going to happen. It wasn't like we're going to tease that this is going to happen and it's not. Everything they'd done up to this point in the show had basically been like, this is happening, it's going to happen, the thing you're going to see happen is going to happen. Yeah. And even though we're not going to show it happening, you're going to have to hear it happening. And it's just like, you know what? I don't give a crap. This could be the number 1 show this season, and this is not my jam. So,
yeah, we dropped it immediately.
It was like episode 5 or episode 6 or something, and been waiting for more of it to come out, and then just we saw that, and we stopped it even before the end of the episode. We're like, nope, we're done.
There were...
And up until now, I'd completely forgotten about it.
There were some parts that were somewhat uncomfortable at the beginning, but it was like, oh, this is going to lend itself to a mystery, so we're going to push through that, and then that happened, and I was like, I have limits.
Yeah. I would not bother with this if that is not your jam. So would this be okay if I can handle it? I don't know. It's an interesting story, but
I mean
it's up to you, right? Like whether or not, and that sucks because it's like I can't see inside your brain, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah, it didn't do it. Nothing about the story stuck out to me that this was being poorly executed.
No, like it had some really interesting ideas at the beginning about laws and laws around the idea of suicide and like assisted suicide.
And it's
and like again, it's an uncomfortable topic, but it was still like, here are some interesting points that people who were arguing it had for and against it, and those parts I found actually fairly compelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you can, sure. I guess
it's talky in a way that Ghost in the Shell is talky sometimes, where it's like we're going to spend a lot of time talking about stuff and spelling things out, and then there'll be some, but there's no real, like, there's not a lot of action like the way Ghost in the Shell has action. But anyway, so moving on. Maerimashita Iruma-kun. The story synopsis, I've also seen this as a manga being advertised, and I was just like, I don't know, didn't really feel like this was something I wanted to watch, so I just didn't go after it. You might enjoy it, but it's not something I was interested in.
Oh, 4 girls walk into a painting.
Yeah. Watashi no ryoku wa heikinchi de te ita yo ne. This is... I watched this. I liked it. If they made more of it, I might watch more of it. I don't think I'll read the manga. It's an isekai.
There's a lot of isekais this last one.
This is, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? If you need a way to understand what this is. And our main character is her. She changes her name. It's she starts as Adele, but you don't actually meet her as Adele. You meet her as whatever she takes her new name is. I can't remember what it is.
So I do like the concept of it, even though I
Yeah.
didn't watch it with you and decided not to. But I do like the concept that when she gets brought over, you said it was that she was able to she was allowed to ask
Mile.
for a thing,
Yeah.
which is very common in Isekai if they get to meet the person who's zapping them over. And she asked to have her abilities be completely average. And they decided to take that average based on everything in the universe.
No, everything on that world.
On that world, which included some gods, which kind of upped the average.
Yeah.
When grading on a bell curve, things don't really go the way you thought they would.
And she's...
And that's neat.
It's fun to see that. And I liked it. Don't know if I will go read the manga. If they make more of it, I'll probably watch the second season. And it's fun. I guess that's just kind of it. It's fun. I had a good time.
I called it Four Girls Walk Into a Painting because there was a part in the first episode I saw where they see like an alleyway that looks like the backdrop looks like a painting to me, and they walk right into it. And I'm like, that seems weird.
They have
It's fine though.
they also the opening sequence has everybody dancing. Anyway, they all get to dance in the beginning, so there's that. If you like watching them dance, it's cute.
Basketball.
Ahiru no Sora. I don't generally watch sports anime, and even every time it seems that I watch a sports anime, I always end up feeling like, oh, it's the same thing I've seen before.
We watch one sports anime,
sure
and
do.
it's later.
So I did not watch Ahiru no Sora. Oh, look, another one with Sora in the title.
Oh,
So this one is basketball, and this one is tennis, soft tennis. It's where they
Must
play
be a
with
popular
very,
game
very
right
soft
now.
balls. I think the soft tennis thing means that it's tennis, but it's supposed to be like casual fun tennis as opposed to like competitive tennis where you take it really seriously. I don't know. I don't know what the whole point of that is.
all sports are very serious.
But uninterested in either. Oh, it says right here, sports.
Yeah.
It says it's a sports anime. It's sports. It's a sports
I'm glad
anime.
you can read.
Sports.
glad.
Being told that from the chat that it is not a sports anime, but it says sports right here. You see it.
Okay,
Sports.
no, let me read it. He's incompetent. He lacks results.
The boys' soft tennis team is on the verge of being shut down. Oh, so it's like we have to. It's like UHF. We have to save the television station.
So Toma, captain and seemingly only motivated member, seeks the help of a newly transferred and old friend, Maki, to improve the club's track record, but it soon becomes apparent that what is holding the boys back are the problems that run far deeper than the simple sport. Okay,
Oh,
so
this is a personal relationship.
Yeah, it's gonna there's sports in the background, so we can call it a sports anime, but it probably doesn't really focus in on the sports. It's one of those ones like where we're gonna focus in on something slightly different and the relationships, like that cheerleading one.
I have a feeling that this turns into a this is definitely all about like it has nothing to do with the club. Then if you're saying this is not the thing about the club, it's like okay, then if it has nothing to do with the club. Ooh, this is interesting. Hajnal that says yeah, this one has an NB. That's interesting. Don't get that would be
cool.
nice if it would actually tell you more of those kind of things, but I guess it's probably not supposed to be a reveal. So anyway.
Well,
I still don't know if I will watch it or not, but there could be
let's
other
be
things.
fair, you probably won't.
I might not watch it. Yeah. If it showed up magically on my feed, maybe I would watch an episode or two of it. But I don't
Is
think I'm
that a
going
hint
to.
for me? Because I'm bad
No.
at that.
No, that's okay.
Okay, cool.
Then yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it.
Can we go to the next one?
Yes, Honzuki no Gekkokujo. Shisho ni naru tame ni wa shudan wo eranderamasen. Eranderiramasen. Deiraran.
I mean, you could have pronounced it once, and I wouldn't have called you out on it. I
Oh,
mean,
erande irarimasen. That's what it is.
there you go.
I'm trying to slur too much together. Cool. Ascendance of a Bookworm. This is a story split into multiple arcs.
How many arcs do they cover?
This is the first arc.
Okay.
This is so what happens is that it's an isekai, and a girl dies, a woman dies. She was a university librarian. She died because a bunch of books fell on her because she loved being surrounded by books, and so she died when they all
She
fell
went
on
for
her.
the ironic death.
Yeah,
In her 20s.
and she gets. You make an interesting point, and I think I need to point it out.
Okay.
Okay.
What was this?
She's not. It says she was reborn as the daughter of a soldier. No, she isn't.
was not reborn.
No, she isn't.
She was not reborn.
No.
That is falsehoods.
No. The daughter of a soldier is very sick, has a fever, and dies. And as
as she's coming awake, you can hear the voice of the other person who was in that body talking about being too warm and hot, and then it disappears. And later, when you think about it too hard, you're like, oh man, she died.
Yeah, she died. Urano, the woman who we will never talk about, it gets brought up like a couple more times about what her name is, but her soul gets sucked into this body essentially. She recovers enough.
Sorry, this got me.
Yeah, she recovers enough that now she has to kind of get used to what's going on, but she recognizes these people as being, she's like, well, sorry, these are her parents, right? This is her sister. This is her. She doesn't really remember Lutz, but she meets Lutz, and then But anyway, but yeah, she gets who these people are in their relationship to her because she remembers some of those things, and it's but she's 5.
Yeah.
But she wants to have books around her, but nobody knows how to read, and okay, thank Christ. Is the Marraket in
cool.
canon? Mine, the girl, isn't dead. She's just in the back seat, the subconscious, whatever. Udano is kind of like the one who's in charge and doing everything.
Actually, kind of relieved to know
That's
that.
interesting to know because
really
it gets
creepy.
very glossed over in the anime, and you just assume this is what's happened.
No, I like this one. I like it better when I ignore all the isekai stuff.
Well, the isekai stuff essentially stops pretty fast because it's like
It becomes better.
It becomes just like living in a medieval world. She's the daughter of a soldier. Nobody knows how to read, including her, but there's no books anywhere. She just wants to learn how to read the language, and she wants to read books, and there aren't books unless you're like a noble, so she's going to make some books, and she's going to find ways to do that. And it's interesting to watch how she does that and to watch the things that happen. And this dude here, you're going to meet him right away in the previews.
He shows up in the first episode.
Yeah, he's a priest. But he has nothing to do with the show for the first 13 or so episodes, and it's very interesting to see what happens and also to get a sense of how the world works. Like, for example, her and Lutz are both the same age, and so when you turn 7, you go to be baptized at the cathedral, and you see that happen near the end of the series. But so a bit of a spoiler that they do make it to the end of the series. But the thing is that they're both 5 when it starts, and they both have to they both have to they have to help out around the house like you would, but they're also thinking of, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Like, Lutz wants to become a traveling merchant, which nobody thinks he should do. The two of them are like, well, we're going to do things and make stuff, and adults are like, you're little kids, but you have a thing you want to do? All right, well, I guess we'll let you do, like, because it's like you gotta find someone to work for and to do a thing and to like apprentice to the guild and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Guilds. There's a fantasy setting, but it's a medieval type thing. For a while, it kind of looks like there's not really magic. Like when you're trying to parse through what the rules of the world are that they live in.
Mm-hmm.
Except then they get more into that, and it's like, okay, so magic does exist. Not everyone just blasts it out everywhere, but it's there, and it's
rare.
They're commoners,
and it's controlled. Yeah,
there's a class system, so they're commoners. There's nobles. There's probably something higher than that, but they focus much more on the idea that they are commoners, which means like wanting to be a merchant is considered a bad idea because his parents are tradespeople, right? So they expect him to work trade, not become a merchant. Also, they're poor. Him becoming a merchant would be really hard.
Yeah. Also, if you become a merchant and you become a traveling merchant, you almost certainly have to give up your citizenship.
James, we're eating sushi rolls.
Yeah, or it was
because it's the anime hour.
It's Japanese cake.
Deal with it, unless you're bringing us cake.
But
Please don't bring us cake. There's a lot of cake in the fridge.
There's cake in the fridge. He brought that for the.
I know.
Anyway, I think the world building in it is very interesting. I love that there are a lot of limitations on things that happen. I love that there feels like there's reasons for stuff to happen. It feels very well put together and pretty well realized. I mean, it's based on a light novel, and this is arc 1, and arc 2 there's multiple arcs, and so arc 2 is something I think they're going to make. Like, it popped up the thing at the end, it says to be continued, so there's more coming, obviously. But and Happy New Year, everybody on the East Coast who are in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. I think watch it. And if isekai are not your thing, you can escape that within the first couple episodes, and you'll get into the fact it's just like it's a girl who happens to know a lot of stuff from a previous world, but she's trying to make this work.
Like, what I like about it is that she's actually very frail, so this is like a method that she can try to survive, because she needs to make money in order to essentially have like a better life, because she can't do harder work. But I like that because she's 5, because I ignore all the isekai stuff. Because she's 5, everyone looks at her and is like, "Oh, you're 5," and she's like, "Yes, but I can negotiate. I can do whatever. I can stand my ground and really surprise you," and it pulls them off guard, so they don't. But I also like that she's still not used to negotiations. So when she talks to, it's Benno?
Yeah, Benno's the guy who runs he's the blonde-haired dude in the middle here.
Yeah, when she talks to him and he's like, "Cool. Wait, why would you just gave away that information for free.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that. Make money hand over fist. Always try to charge for more." Because she's doing that thing that you see a lot of people who are new time crafters do, where they're like, "Okay, well, I spent like $5, so I guess I will charge $6."
Yeah.
Right? And because she also doesn't know the world's currency, and she's just kind of like,
"Oh, is a silver coin a lot? I don't know."
That's enough. And I kind of like seeing her have to like get through that.
Yeah, and it works also because she's a kid, because it's like there's a lot of stuff that she doesn't know, and so it's excusable that she doesn't know a lot of those things, but it's also weird because she has a lot of other knowledge that nobody else has.
Yeah, and she's got to be a little bit more careful about just giving that out, because other people who are a little smarter about it will notice.
Yeah, and definitely try to take advantage. I mean, Benno, he's a merchant, right? He owns his own company, and he works for he's part of the guild, and he sees her as, "You are a source of money for me. You are also really sickly. So what does that mean to me, and how do we negotiate this relationship?" And we're not going to get into more of that, but I think it's a good time. I think it's a very interesting thing, and there will be more. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. There we go. The only sports anime we're really watching this season. Chihaya Furu 3 returns after how many years off? I don't remember. I'm so glad they're making it.
4, I think.
4 years?
3 or 4 years since the last season.
We shouldn't have to re-explain it all, but there's such a thing called competitive karuta. Karuta is a game where people read off poems, and when they read off the first part of a poem, you have to slap a card that's laid out that has the other half of the poem on it.
Yeah, it's like a matching game, except you have to know both parts. They're literally cards spread out in front of you on both sides, and you're this would be incredibly incomprehensible trying to do in English.
Yeah. And it's like Magic the Gathering was also a rat battle. Thank you, Rare Monsters. It's complicated, it's interesting, and it makes you feel like it it makes you feel like this is like you're really a part of learning and getting better and understanding what is being laid out in front of you.
It's
You could watch the first 2 or 3 episodes and you'll
Yeah,
like
they
of the
kind of-
first show of the like Chiarafuru 1, obviously.
yeah. I mean, I would recommend watching season 1 and 2, but I feel like the way they start season 3, if you're willing to ignore a few things you might not get right away, you'll probably be okay. Because they do a little bit of a recap and they have some flashbacks.
Yeah. And there's lots of interpersonal stuff going on as well, so that's very important. It's not just people having showdowns. The thing that I find about, like, I like sports anime that isn't based on a sport. I like whenever they treat a thing as a sport that's not a sport.
Well, then clearly you need to go watch the tennis anime.
Yeah, clearly I do. Well, no, because that's not about the sport. It's
But you
about
said
all the
you
stuff
like-
outside of it.
You like anime about the sport that's not about the sport.
Yeah.
I just described that.
Let's move on.
Do we have to?
Yes, because we can do this pretty fast.
All right,
Kabukicho Sherlock. We dropped it
we did.
after the last or after the episode 12 or whatever it was.
If you're around for Rhythm Cafe,
Yeah.
you know how I feel about this.
Yeah, apparently so do a lot of people feel much the same way you felt about it at 59%.
It's okay, even without the reason for dropping it.
Yeah.
It's mediocre,
Yeah.
which is fine. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It's because there's plenty of stuff I watch that isn't amazing, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And I still really like the concept of a dude who's supposed to basically be like Sherlock Holmes, except not, because
Yeah.
he's just a detective.
Except his name is Sherlock Holmes.
And yes, but he's clearly not Sherlock Holmes as you're supposed to know him.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that it feels like he's a detective who really just wanted to perform Rakugo. He was not good enough at it to make a living at it, but he could do this other thing, so he's a detective, and therefore he wants to force everyone to watch his reveals by doing really bad Rakugo.
Yeah.
And that I find really charming.
Well, his Rakugo's his process, right? Of being like, I'm going to explain the things. I'm going to go back and forth to kind of explain
Yes.
what's going on.
And for those of you who
And it's
don't
very
know
like Sherlock.
what Rakugo is, because that did come up during Rhythm Cafe too, people didn't know. It is a form of storytelling. It's a storytelling art in Japan. Usually you've got like one person on stage, they do different voices, they have maybe a fan on them, but they don't really have any other props, and they just talk back and forth and do all the characters, and it's actually really riveting.
Yeah. There's a
If done
whole series on Showa Gensoku Rakugo.
Descending
getting
Stories
getting
is the
something like
English
that.
name.
But yeah, go look for the Showa Rakugo series. If you want to see what Rakugo is about and how serious like people take it and how serious it's taken as an art form, it's like any other art form in Japan that's been around for like the last like couple hundred years. Is that
some more?
it's yes please it is that it's there we go Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. It's like any other art form that's been around for a couple hundred years in Japan. It's taken incredibly seriously, and there are certain forms, and you have to follow the forms, and you don't get to do anything different.
They definitely don't like it when you try to.
Nope, because that's how that works.
Well, that's
So,
against tradition.
I haven't watched. I've only watched like an episode of Joshiraku, and I don't think that that's a good entry point for people to learn about Rakugo. But I think it would be a great way to watch it afterwards. So
But
anyway,
but that is what the main character that the series focuses on does.
Yeah.
There's 5 other detectives.
yes,
There's
there's
kind of a bar.
Mary and Lucy Martel. There's Michel. What's his name? Come on. They're basically three of the 5 detectives are actually all famous literary figures. And it doesn't matter. They could have given them any names, and it doesn't matter. Watson shows up in this,
Watson-
right?
Watson
That
is-
dude there is Watson, right?
Is a character who shows up
Yeah.
because he's from the west.
He's from the west side of the Shinjuku
Yeah, so
War. Yeah,
Shinjuku is
split in
split
two.
in two. There's east and west. There's a wall. You have to go through a border check. Watson escapes from the west side because something weird happens over there. Someone's trying to
Murder
murder
him.
him, and he was told to come talk to Sherlock. So he comes. He finds this weird bar that
Bar Pipe Cat.
is that the name?
Pipe Cat was the name of the bar. Yeah.
Where these detectives all go, and they are brought cases, and depending on the level of case, you get
They're either A type or S type.
yeah. Well, you
'Cause
get
that's all the types
like,
there
well,
are.
no, there's like the S plus type. There's
Yeah,
like
there's unlimited type. Yeah.
there's like each grading gives you an idea of like if you're gonna get paid a lot, if the customer's gonna cover all the expenses, whether you win or not, and everyone dukes it out to try and basically win the money.
Yeah.
They're making a living.
Yeah. It's not. It
And,
just doesn't. It felt like it was going to be. I mean, for one thing,
this is Moriarty.
ruined the first episode, everybody. But
It's the first episode.
yeah, it's fair.
Get over it.
It's fair. It doesn't really matter. Certainly the. What I appreciate about this is that Jericho Tyler says, "Oh, they made an anime out of Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century." Well,
It's not really Sherlock Holmes. It's just that's the name they gave him.
except that it's kind of like it follows the same kind of tropes as a Sherlock Holmes mystery, which is there's a bunch of information that you're probably going to completely missed or that we didn't spell out for you fully, and so then Sherlock is going to spell it all out for you and the viewers, and Watson is there to be this kind of like gullible dude to be like, oh wow, I can't believe that this happened kind of deal, right?
But I have watched cartoons about Sherlock Holmes in the 30th century, and it's the same guy. It's the Sherlock Holmes you think it is, and this is not what that is.
Also, Moriarty's not the bad guy in this.
Well, I mean, maybe he is later.
He's a child. He's a kid living on the streets. So anyway, Doodles, this is AnnieChart.net.
He could become a bad guy later.
Probably.
There's like halfway where we got halfway through. There's clearly going to be a second cour.
Yeah.
We dropped it there, and
I'd had enough.
I kind of feel like they're setting him up to become a villain.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I think eventually he'll become a bad guy.
Yep. Kind of just didn't like.
Definitely-
We tried to like it.
Definitely felt like when they name dropped him when you first meet him, that they were trying to be like, oh, is he a villain? Is he not? And they did that like a little bit, and you're like, oh, okay, he's not. He's just a kid, and he does whatever, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And now it feels like, you might be now.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, So anyway, Val X Love or Val Love or whatever. I didn't have no idea what this is.
Oh, but they got cute dresses.
I mean, she barely does.
No, the other one. The one with the, yeah.
Yeah, with the
Cute.
Zeta Ryoiki.
Stop making fun of me.
That's fine. Oh, yes.
I don't make fun of your choices.
See, high schooler Akatsuta Akuma has learned to accept his lonely lot in life as content surrounded by his studies when the god Odin taps him to save the world alongside 9 Valkyries fueled by intimacy. Takuma can say goodbye to his solitary existence.
Sure, I was
What's that?
I was not gonna watch it. I
No.
just said it looked cute.
Yeah, the character design is cute.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Be nice, or I won't be nice to you about this one.
This is fine.
Even though this one's fine.
This is.
I'll find a way to be mean.
This is okay. Hokago
I'm
Saikoro
surprised
Club.
more people don't like it.
Hokago Saikoro Club.
I mean, I didn't care, but I'm surprised more people didn't like
it's
it.
just deeply medium. Like I really like it.
Is it? I thought you were all
I
about
do.
it.
I really like it, but it is deeply medium. Like it is.
You and Pat Bear practically
Yeah.
became best friends over this show.
It's such a great premise, and it's such an interesting thing. Like the thing is, it is interesting, but it is also deeply medium because this is okay. Hokago Saikoro Club is not going to change anyone's life.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You can't say that about something.
It might get more people to play board games, and I think that's very important. And
Changing people's lives by making them play the board game.
I started by reading. I read the manga, like I read the first couple chapters of the manga, and I didn't get anywhere with it, and I didn't see any more translations of it, so I didn't really care. But it's fun, and it's entertaining, and it's a little bit by the numbers. Like you watch it, and you're like, okay, this feels like a little bit by the numbers, but it's also there's a lot of friendship, and it feels really gentle and fun and good, and like there's nothing bad about it. And I just felt like I was never excited every week to watch it because I knew what it was going to be the entire time. And I still felt like, yeah, and well, because it kind of is. It's supposed to be fun and funny, and there's some interesting. There's an interesting thing that happens where the German girl shows up, who also speaks like damn near perfect Japanese, but you can hear when she's talking where it's healing anime. Thank you, that's what it is.
Oh, I forgot.
In a manner of speaking, Bartender and that are more healing animes, but this is also kind of a healing thing. But there is a lot of like, anyway, there's a lot of plot. But when the German girl shows up and the four of them go outside to play a game, they decide to play a game called Dadama-san Fall Down.
Oh, yes, one episode I saw.
And let me explain this. It's a very interesting game, and you've probably never seen it played before. So a group of kids assembles, and they draw like a line in the sand, and then everyone stands behind that except for one kid who goes up to like a pole and hides their face against the pole, and they say, Dadama-san, in Japanese, they're going to say something. He said, Dadama-san fall down, and they turn over their they look over their shoulder as fast as they can to catch anybody moving. And if they see anybody moving, then they have to go over and join the person who is covering their face, and they do, the thing you've never heard of. So the thing is that all of this was like brought up as like this really interesting kind of game, and the German girl's like, oh, we have that in Germany. It's called Ogre on the Mountain. And in England, they have it, it's called Green Light, Red Light. And I was like, Green Light, Red Light? No. Everyone here is saying, oh, red light, green light, red light, green light. I'm like, yeah, I know. And apparently in England, it's Green Light, Red Light. It's not What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf? But it kind of is, because there's another aspect to this, is that when you take the hand of the person that you caught and you're counting, like you're saying the next thing is like, Dadama-san fall down, and you look over your shoulder, you're going to try to catch more people. But if the players all run up to you and tag you before you turn over your shoulder to see what they're doing, they can free the person you're holding on to, and then they all run back. But as they're running, the person who is the Oni, the person who is it, they have to count to 10 really fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and turn around and yell stop. Everybody stops, and then the person who tagged them, I love this, gets to say 5 big steps or 7 little steps or 15 big steps or whatever they want. They just get to name a number of big or little steps. And then the Oni has that many steps to get to somebody and grab them. And if they do, it tags them out, and then that person becomes the Oni, and the Oni gets to play. It's very complicated more than anything else. And just like,
yes, it's a game made by children.
Right. It's meant to eat up time. And so the German girl, I forget her name again, she says, if we make a couple little changes to this, what if we did this for points? We assign a point like this, or we only say that there's only so many steps you can take and that's it. Like, that's kind of how that works. And she just says, what if we set a couple of rules that are like this so that you win or you lose based on how many points you can get, and everyone has to take a turn being the Oni in each round. And she does that, and they're like, oh, it's actually a real game now, because it has stakes, it has incentive. Emmy, thank you. It has stakes, it has incentive for you to try to outdo everybody else, but if you play too aggressively, then you'll get caught. And it was just really fun, because it felt like, oh, they're not just treating this like we're playing a game. They're treating it like we're designing a game. And they're using that as a way to also approach how a lot of games are played too. And I think that they did a really good job of that.
Every week there's a different game.
Yep.
They go over the rules. They play a little bit. It's like watching an animated AFK, but for girls. And some strange guy who runs a shop.
Yeah, it's meant...
Probably, maybe. I watched half an episode, so how do I know?
I feel like the whole idea it was basically meant to be like any of these other ones, like where it's like the manga that's made about how to install Ubuntu, and the manga that's Wizard Soul, the one that's about Magic the Gathering, which is not about Magic the Gathering because it's not officially supported or whatever. But those manga that are meant to take a thing probably that the mangaka really loves and put a bunch of girls around it and make it interesting to a lot more people who read manga, and safe and approachable, and drag them into it. There's a manga I read called what the hell's it called again? It's about headphones. It's about 2 girls discovering the magic of very expensive headphones.
In the world of manga, if there's a topic you like, it probably has a very extensive series about a girl who likes it.
Yeah.
Maybe she goes around and eats a whole bunch of different kinds of ramen and knows way too much about ramen for a normal 16-year-old. Or maybe
Ramen Daisuke Koizumi-san.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the other headphone one, but now I gotta look it up.
See, that's what happens when you name drop something that sounds potentially interesting.
I'm gonna find it. I think it starts with a he or a ha.
Yeah. Anyway, Dice Friends Club, not my jam, but people who like it seem to really like it. They describe it as kind of a warm hug. Check it out. Or don't. Well, Beach finds that. I'm moving on. Can't stop me.
It's hard to do when I have 700 manga.
Radiant 2, the second season of Radiant. Did we watch that?
No, we did not.
I didn't think so. It looks like Avatar. But probably not.
Mimi Yori Harmonia.
High School
Thank you.
Girl 2.
Energy Spoon.
You probably didn't watch that.
I did watch that. Yay! Okay, so High Score Girl I really liked because I was a kid at the time when this stuff was like, well, I was a kid. It's like 1994 to 1996 to 1997, like about in that era. These kids were younger than me, but this is like the PC Engine Famicom changing to Super Famicom, changing to when the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn came out. Street Fighter 2 is like making this appearance. This is the golden age. This is the renaissance of gaming. This was like when everyone started to do it. There was going to be more money in it. You could actually develop a really good game, and you could do it in like 6 months to a year, instead of now when it takes a lot longer because everything's got to be way more freaking complicated. This is a really good. I damn near cried at the end.
Aw.
Yeah, I've read all the manga, but it's a story about Haruo.
The second season.
It's a story about Haruo and Akira and Honoka.
Can't.
They have very unusual faces. I realize that.
No, it's that with the combination of the CG thing that they do.
Yeah.
When they already look pretty uncanny valley to me here.
Yeah.
But when they move, I can't take it.
Oh, there is a curling manga. Excellent.
Of course, there's a curling manga.
Great. It's I love the ending themes for both High Score Girls. The second season was great. It's only 9 episodes long, and it's a great sum up and conclusion to the series. I'd already finished the manga just leading into it. There's so much clips from so many different games because there is a copyright list that's like the entire screen of just here's everything we talk about. And
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. That person there, that's Haruo's mom. That person there is Akira's older sister. That person there is her tutor.
Yep.
That Ji-san, he's her driver.
So, except for like the old-looking man.
This guy is not important.
Everybody looks like they're simultaneously 5 and
30.
16.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. No. Again, this woman here is Haruo. It's his mom.
I get that.
This is a story about these two people developing their relationship, and him being the kind like a young boy growing into being a young man who doesn't understand what any of that means because all he wants to do is play games. And she loves to play games. She never speaks.
Yeah.
That's real freaking weird.
It is weird.
It is incredibly weird.
You know
and
what's
it's
even
weirder
weirder?
in the anime than it is in the manga.
No. What's even weirder is the commercials you showed me where they have both characters show up on like little paddle things to be like, hey, we're using this anime to advertise a product. And he just talks his butt off and she says nothing. And I'm like, what? And you're like, no, it's supposed to be like, I'm like, why did you bother then?
Yeah, she's very expressive otherwise, but
not with those faces.
She's very expressive, but she doesn't talk, which makes her even more of a mystery to him,
Soulless dolls.
but he won't shut up.
Soulless dolls.
Anyway, I think it's really interesting, especially if you were alive around that time when those things were happening. But anyway.
Koto!
Kono Oto Tomare, second season. This is the culmination of the show thus far.
There's an instrument called a koto. It's a big piece of
you
wood,
can see them
bunch of
have them
strings
here.
on it, and is probably very Japanese. I don't know that much about koto.
It's incredibly Japanese. They
but
have them in Korea
there's-
and China as well.
There's a high school
But
club
they're not called koto.
where, what's his face? This dude is like basically the only one left.
Yep.
And he has to do this is first season where he has to do the most embarrassing thing ever, which is go up on the stage on his own to try and promote the Koto Club during the whole school. Hey, we all have clubs. Here's clubs you might find interesting, and he's not super good at it.
Yep.
So everyone's just like, what the heck was that? And then, he gets his club together. They join. Super friendship happens.
Yeah.
So much friendship happens.
This is such a friendship show. It's so good.
Yeah.
And it's going to make you grind your teeth because there's lots of things where you're like, no, don't be shitty, don't be awful. This is the second season of that.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
It's
It's
what
so good.
So when I read the manga, what got me, because I'm further ahead, but not that far ahead, it turns out. When I was reading the manga, what got me was this manga was always the most boring to me whenever it talked about anybody else that wasn't in the Koto Club. What I cared about most was these 7 people and what they were going through. I didn't give a shit about anybody
So,
else, but they had to set up
occasionally-
other schools in order for them to compete. And I'm like, I don't care. I just want to know how good they're doing. But also what got me about this show that's so good, in manga, you can't hear the music.
I think they did a good job of the music in the anime.
And that's what got me, is I was like, you have a lot to live up to because the music has to be incredible. It has to be the
Yes.
kind of thing that can really move people. And a lot of times, like in Nodame Cantabile, they lean on a lot of they leaned on a lot of music that we all knew, that people know because it's all classical, right? In this, they leaned on a lot of music that was unfamiliar to a lot of people if you're not familiar with the Koto, and also original works. Same thing with that Lie in April. It's like you're relying upon the people who are playing the music to really help bring the music into the point of the story.
They played
this was-
music in that Lie in April?
Yeah, but
I
not
don't remember
not
that
that
at
much, right?
all.
In this, it's really good. Like, it really grabs you and really makes you feel something. And I'm like, they did such a good job of integrating it into the show that I'm like, this really stands on its own as like the best realization of the story, I think.
Okay, but friendship music.
Yeah.
Way more important. So, they're gonna go to nationals because that didn't happen last year when all of his clubmates could have possibly done nationals.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. He was like, "No, I'll take care of the club. We'll go to nationals." They all really want to work hard to go to nationals because for some weird reason, nationals happen the next school year.
Yeah,
that
it
you
always
compete
does.
So if you're second year, you got to get into nationals now so that you can be there in your third year.
Because in your third year, you're going to, because if you're going to go to nationals, you have to do it. Like, third years can go to nationals as long as you do it that year so you can go. But if you miss your chance to qualify, then you can't ever go to nationals ever again. Because by the next year, I think when you're in your third year at that point, whenever it happens,
If you're in your third year and you're going into qualifiers, you are going to be graduated school by the time the nationals actually happen. Thereby, you're not part of the club anymore.
Right. Yes, thank you. Sorry.
That's what happens
right,
with that.
that's what got brought up.
So
So I'm sorry.
It's like they have to have those points all of a sudden where it's like, by the way, these other students who are also very good because they're competing for a nationalship qualifier.
Yeah.
And it would be weird for you to compete for that if you're not very good at it.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that, which means we have some of those episodes that start that feel like they're from a different anime because you're like, okay, I should care about this character. And they're okay. They're fine. I agree. I prefer the main core group, but they have to have people to compete against.
Yeah, they have to. And
And they have
also,
to try to make those characters compelling.
And I did find that in the anime, because they're only able to spend so much time on them, that they really end up feeling more compelling here than being a drag on the show. Whereas in the manga, spending like I would pick up a chapter and be like, okay, time to read this chapter, and like it's so much fucking drama and so much talking about people who I don't give a shit about, and I'm like, all that time is spent where I don't care about any of these people, but now that I know who they are, it will help later on. But I'm like, you spent a whole chapter talking about people I don't give a shit about, which is why I understand, like in like Rurouni Kenshin, right, when they're doing their work, hey, let's run through a giant house and have a tournament fucking fighter, and let's meet all these people we never met before. What are we gonna do? We're gonna spend 2 or 3 episodes in Rurouni Kenshin. The first one is we're going to run through the house to the next room, and then we're going to kind of have a showdown. And as we start to fight, we're going to have a brief thing where we see inside the opponent's head. And then we're going to have the next episode be, let's tell the opponent's entire backstory. I'm like, aha, you sucked me into it because now I've met the opponent. I can kind of see what their motivation is. Now I get to see what makes them such, like, all this pathos that their character has. And then I get to see how it plays out.
I mean, part of what I like about the show is that all of these characters, nobody just joined the Koto Club for fun.
No.
They joined it because the Koto meant something to them, right? One is from a school where they're supposed to be a master of that eventually. Yeah. One's grandfather was part of that, so he's got like memories really tied up in this instrument, and he really just kind of wants to be there for the memory of his grandfather and like honor that. And then, you know, his friends show up because they're like, you helped us out once, and you're such a caring guy, even though everyone thinks you're a delinquent, and we're going to be here to support you. And we don't know what the Kodo is, but we'll figure it out, right? Like they all have these reasons that are more about, like, friendship or the fact that this instrument has meaning to them, as opposed to, well, I guess I got to join some sort of club. So
someone's here.
Then I guess the Koto Club that looks like it's dying? No one's gonna do that.
Who is here?
I don't know, but...
Should I go see?
Okay. I'm just going out there.
Hello? 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 Oh, okay. It just was so late. I was like, who the hell? Yeah, no, I was grabbing a costume. Cool, alright, have fun.
Okay. I thought it was going to be James.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Always willing to blame James. Spoilers, it wasn't.
So.
But yeah, like I enjoy that. I like that it's them also just trying to get used to each other as well.
Yeah. There's a reason why.
It's fun.
There's a reason why this, like, why people are like, this is 79%. Like, there's a reason why people really like this. It feels good. It really does.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Ben. He's come back to get something. Which sucks because it's like raining out. But anyway.
He'll be fine.
So moving on.
None of us are made of sugar.
Grand Blue Fantasy, the animation season 2. Not the Grand Blue I wanted there to be more of. There it is. I didn't watch that. Keishicho Tokumubu Tokushu Kyoakuhan Taisak Shitsu Dai Nanaka : Tokunana. It's the sequel to Keishicho Tokumubu Tokushu Kyoakuhan Taisak Shitsu Dai Na. Okay, whatever. No, we didn't. We didn't.
No, it's already killed off your thing about, oh, they put something in quotes, therefore all anime.
Yeah.
Gone forever.
I thought at one point, because this could be interesting, because I was like, oh, wait, what?
It's different world than ours.
What? But it's still Tokyo, and all these people are wearing suits, but there's dragons?
No. That once roamed the world.
Yeah.
There's not dragons anymore.
Oh, you know there's a dragon at the end. You just know it. But anyway.
Are you sure? 55% of people like this. I am going to assume it's because a whole bunch of people found out there's no dragon at the end.
Yeah.
And they were sorely disappointed because it's just a show about lizard people then.
Wodar says, this was real boring. I'll take your word for it. We didn't watch it. If you did watch it, enjoyed it, I'm glad. I'm glad you got more of it even too. Here we go. I did not watch this. I mentioned why in the previous thing. So I will probably skip over it.
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
But if you enjoyed it, then great. I'm glad.
Goodbye.
Chubyo Gekihatsu Boy.
Oh, why do they all look so smug except for the tiny children? who are just happy because they're kids. Oh, I no.
They're
I
all
guess,
high school girls
I guess
or high school people.
I guess that girl is somewhat afraid.
Ooh, high school people that also are chu ni byo, so they never really drop it.
Oh, that explains
So,
why they all look that way.
The chu ni byo thing, the chu is middle and ni is two, and if that helps you think about this, it's supposed to be, it's the chu is middle is in middle school, because chu and naka are both the same. That's chu goku is how they refer to China because China's the middle country. Anyway, the ni is two because it's second year of middle school syndrome. We always turn into adolescent delusions of grandeur. It's just really just second year of middle school syndrome where it's like, it's grade 8. And did you know that I wear this glove so that magical powers don't shoot out of my hands? I feel
Or
like
this eye patch.
Yeah, Chunibyo stuff, Shark Hero says, and I thought the phase died out a while ago.
There's always a stereotype character.
I don't think they're ever really going to get rid of it, but it is. But now you have an explanation for what it means if you've ever seen it come up anywhere. I didn't watch this.
Usually I quite enjoy when there's like one character who's like that because they're over the top.
Yeah.
They're kind of funny. If they're a character that the show is not trying to take immensely seriously, then it can be really funny and a lot of fun and be pretty good.
Yep.
If the show takes it super seriously, then it's just like, okay.
I feel like the way this is supposed to work is that this girl shows up, she meets a bunch of boys, probably one at a time, and all of them have a different thing. They all have a different chuny kind of thing. Great. Whatever. Moving on. Fairygon 2, second Kura Fairygon. Well, I didn't watch
No.
Fairygon. I don't know what even is even about.
It looks like it's sponsored by Monster.
Kandegawa Jet Girls. Kadokawa Marvelous and Egg Firm announced on Friday they're developing a new project called Kandegawa Jet Girls. I love anything that is like, hey, here is a description of the company that's starting a thing because we are trying to make a thing happen because we're not making entertainment, we're making a product and you better fucking enjoy it. I love that kind of stuff because it's like, I know what I'm going to miss out on. This is about
Hey, Beach.
racing and sharpshooting.
Hey, Beach.
Hi.
How do you like your eggs?
Firm. Didn't watch this. But hey, sports and ecchi. You know what that means? It's keijo, except no ass slapping. But probably
eating-
lots of bathing suits. So it's wet and wild.
Yeah, those are words they used.
It's probably this sounds like fun. Like it sounds like, oh, it's personal watercraft racing, which probably is going to be Sea-Doos or jet skis. Sea-Doos because in Canada Bombardier makes Ski-Doos, and I believe they're the ones who also make the Sea-Doo. And so anyway, that's snowmobiles.
Let's
It's a
not
thing.
try to dissect
Water
a thing
gun
we
sharp
haven't
shooting.
actually watched.
Yeah,
Let's just keep going.
could be interesting. Oh, Pocket Monsters 2019
Oh,
by Oriental Light and Magic.
the Pokemons.
Yeah.
Actually, here it's pretty.
It's a sequel
pretty
to the
good.
Sun and Moon. The hashtag is Anipoke. I don't know
I do
anything
need
about
to
that.
watch more anime that's based on Pokemon.
I like
Specifically Pokemon.
I like that I looked over and it was like Pocket Monsters. I looked over and Wardar says, "Oh right, this had an uncensored version." I'm like, "What? What?
Not,
What?"
Talking about the other one.
Whoo!" Anyway,
Yeah, in one you can see Pikachu's dog.
hey, Africa, no salary man.
Ah,
I forgot this was aired in October. Do you know why?
because we dropped it immediately.
I dropped it immediately.
Because it was weird.
Because the toucan
it was not-
is such an asshole, I couldn't take watching it. I wanted this to be about the lion, who's the head of who's like the chief in his office and has to like run the office and stuff. And it's all about the toucan and the lizard friend doing shit after hours and like having dinner and like doing other things. I'm just like, no, I want to know about the lion doing work and having to go home and spend time with his family and trying to balance shit. And I'm just like, I don't care.
Nope. As soon as the toucan was trying... No, rather, the leopard girl they met on the train was trying to blackmail them for fake touching her up.
Yeah.
Things happen. No. Immediately.
Yeah.
Gone.
Agretzko is so cute. This is not Agretzko. It's really kind of...
Gretzko is awesome.
This is like felt like a lot of bad feels, and I was just like, I don't care even how true any of this shit is. I don't care. This is definitely salaryman manga for them to laugh at. about look at these slutty high school girls who are basically just trying to trick you into like who are going to just blackmail you because you're standing behind them. You know, I'm just like, wow, that's a bad look.
Gretzko is about a cute, tiny red panda who has to put up with a whole bunch of BS at her office.
Yep.
And then, to alleviate that stress, she goes and sings metal at karaoke.
Yeah.
And she makes great friends with other office mates. And it's awesome. It's so cute and great and relatable. The other one is BS.
They're not really into it. Phantasy Star Online 2 Episode Oracle. Have not played the game and did not watch the show.
I mean, I would assume that the show didn't match up to the video game.
Stand My Heroes, Piece of Truth. You wouldn't even have to tell me it was a mobile game. I probably wouldn't have watched it based on the name and based on the 4 boys.
Oh, but it might be a good... Nah, damn it. No. Psychological. It's going to be... No.
Also got 44%, so maybe it wasn't... Not a lot of people really liked it. Who knows? ZX Code Reunion. I literally didn't see the title. I just looked at this and was like, I don't remember what high school thing this is. But maybe it's an idol show? No, it's a ceasefire between Mankind and the Zex. Xena needs Zex. Oh, she's got a hell of a name. Kakamigahara. Wow. Anyway, I don't care.
They go to an academy.
Yeah. Actors, Songs Connection. Didn't care about that either.
Oh, wait. This is some sort of...
Music, comedy, slice of life. Ooh, mystery, eh?
Oh, I kind of want to watch that.
Well, then go find it, I guess.
Okay. I'm not going to remember, but okay.
Shinchuka Ichiban. Ah, yes, Cooking Wars. Wasn't interested.
I kind of dig that their art style is very different than a lot of stuff we've seen on this page so far, though.
I feel like it's probably whoever is making this in the first place was probably this might even just be in like an older style manga, and so they basically basing it around that kind of style.
I know, but sometimes
they've been around for years.
Sometimes I want to see a different art style when everything else feels like it's
kind of the same thing.
Kind of the same, even if it's just like, oh, this is based on something a little older, so we kept the art style because it'd be weird if we didn't know.
Remake of a classic series. That would explain the Shin probably too, but anyway. So cool. Let's see here. Aikatsu on Parade. I didn't watch that. Aikatsu franchise's new TV series. Has a new protagonist named Rocky Kiseki. And bring together characters from previous Aikatsu anime series. So...
Oh, it's an Idol series thing. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, welcome to Idol Hell. Zoids Wild Zero. Didn't watch Zoids ever.
A lot of Idol stuff is starting to look like Magical Girl stuff because they're kind of doing mishmashes of both. And I'm not super hot on all the Idol stuff. I like some of it, but I'm like, oh, Magical Girl, not. Yeah. Okay, fine. It's okay.
All right, Kaiju Step Wandabata. Ultraman the Kaiju Step.
Okay.
No, sorry, wasn't interested, didn't watch it. And then whatever this is, looks like it's an ad. That's filthy.
That's an ad. Just keep...
Yeah, holy crap.
Why would you think... Never mind.
I was wondering what all the different stuff was. Okay, TV short. Didn't watch this because also it's the 3rd season of a thing and didn't watch it. Didn't watch Bananya's 2nd season because didn't really like the first one myself.
I mean, we didn't get very far in Bananya. Yeah. I liked the weird pun name they've got going for it, but it feels a lot like we're trying to sell toys.
Tenka Hyakken Meiji Kane Yokoso. Welcome to the Meiji era. Tenka Hyakken franchise centers around the Mitsurugi, maidens who are physical incarnations of ancient swords. Pledged to live peaceful lives out of the edge of warfare now are returning to battle to fight a new foes arisen during the alternate version of the Meiji era, 300 years after the Battle of Sekigahara. Cool.
Okay, you need to slow down. If you're gonna make fun of a thing, you should at least read it properly.
Kinda just uninterested in Sword Girls Online.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you mumble, then I can't appreciate the joke.
I don't even think there's... Anyway.
Just...
Yeah, that's fair. I will watch it.
Take a breath. Pronounce your words.
Urashima Sakata-sen no Nichijo. This is...
Hey, Serge. Welcome to Anime Hell. Be rated.
Oh, nice. Hi, Serge. Happy New Year.
Brew Crew. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the Brew Crew. Nice to see you.
Oh, they look cute.
Yeah. They're a boy idol group, I believe.
They're probably great.
I think they actually are. in real life, the 4 of these are in a boy idol group. The thing I was reading about, and they just made this, I think, as a way of helping to promote them. Oh, Gainax Kyoto. Wow.
Oh, little TV boys.
Super Shiro.
Nope.
Taiko no Nichijou. Didn't really.
It's not the right Nichijou.
Yeah. Go. Oh, right. They made the weird Astro Boy one. Go Atom.
We didn't watch that either.
We didn't watch that. Egg Car.
How do you like your eggs?
Car.
Oh, there we go. Leftovers.
All right, Dr.
You
Stone.
talk about Onion Head.
Yeah. I really wanted to like Dr. Stone. Didn't think I would like Dr. Stone. Turns out I like Dr. Stone.
Okay, cool. I was like, where's this coming from?
Yeah. I wanted to like it because I like the idea of, hey, let's start from scratch. This is a very kind of Minecraft feeling thing, where it's like I have a bunch of knowledge about stuff. I have to start from nothing and on essentially like a desert island, which is in this case the entire world, in the Stone Age, and I have to try to create something. I have to try to create stuff based on this, and I'm like, oh, this is good. The thing I dislike the most about Dr. Stone, and yet it makes sense that it's there, is that there's fighting in it. I really, really dislike the fact that they had to find a way to cram fighting into it. But they did, and I guess that's if you had left it out.
Like sword fights? Martial arts fights?
So what happens is that
Rap battles?
Senku brings a guy back to life who is incredibly powerful because he and his friend are being threatened by a lion, and so he pours the shit that they got to crack people out of their stone bodies, and brought him back, and he wrestled the lion and killed the lion.
Weird thing where everyone got stoned.
And so then he was like, so the dude that he freed was like, hey, so we're going to live in this stone world forever now. We don't have to bring anybody back. And Senku's like, no, we're bringing everybody back because we're going to bring the world back from where it is. And we're going to kickstart, several thousand years of human history and technology. We're going to just smash our way to the present, like in a single lifetime. And dude's like, no, I'm going to actually break all the statues of all the old guys because all these old guys are assholes and they own too much stuff and they tell us things of what to do and I'm the most powerful person ever and I should live. And I'm just like, we're going to have showdowns and fighting and shit. And I don't like that at all. And it bothers me because it's like, I just picture it being an awful lot like the way Boichi's other manga and stuff is. And I know this isn't a Boichi manga. He's just the artist. Somebody else is writing it. But all the other stuff that's connected to it, like, look how smart we can be. Like, let's make stuff out of things that, And I'm like,
well,
that
you're
was
not
good.
usually into fighters and stuff. You prefer things, what else they kind of show off, which is like people trying to figure things out, people trying to survive, but also trying to work together to make things so that they can continue living.
Yeah.
As opposed to murdering each other.
Yeah, and the fact, and so people are complaining to me in the chat because they're like, you're making it sound like it's a fighting series. It's not. I just didn't want to have any of that. I wanted to see this be way more. I found some people, they don't trust me. I try to win them over. We work together. We try to build, because this is going to be a lot of work anyway. And man against nature is already an awful lot. There's an awful lot. There's lots of stuff you can build there. And multiple people against nature is still an awful lot. He has lofty goals. And to have to be like, well, how can we make this be more interesting? And the way we have to make it interesting is we have to immediately set him up with someone who's going to try to kill him. I'm like, that's not as interesting to me. I don't like that you did that. I don't like that there's this sort of Damocles hanging over his head because of that. Now, I know that also sparks a lot of movement into making stuff happen, and it means that now you can think of ways to, like, you can have a constant level threat as opposed to something that's just like, it's open-ended, hey, we're going to make everything happen. It's like, no, now we have a threat. It's providing even sharper focus on the things we have to do, and I'm like, I don't like that you felt the need to do that with some random dude who just happens to be the most powerful high schooler in the world or whatever. It's like it would have been fun if it was these other people that he met, if that was the thing he had to go up against, he had to try to like do things that way. But anyway, that's my problem with it. And it still is a really fun, really fantastic series. And if you didn't like it, I understand. I liked it. I'm looking forward to the next course coming up, whenever they happen to happen. Anyway, oh, look at that. And then no Shobotai.
Ah, yes.
Yep. Magical
forgot
Firefighters.
about that.
Me
briefly.
too. We dropped this.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was just not my jam.
I mean, I really like the concept. I love the fact that it's like, it felt like an RPG party, but everyone's wearing firefighting gear. I like the fire powers thing. I like that there's like this weird thing going on with fire elementals, and that there's like this consistent fear of anybody could turn into a fire monster, but no one knows why.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, so there's some magic, there's some fantasy elements, but there's also potentially like, science in that pseudo way of like things probably make sense eventually. I just wish they stopped trying to throw his hands into what's-her-face's boobs and butt all the time.
Yep.
Accidentally.
Yep.
Like,
what do they call that again? There's a term for that.
I
Lucky Skebe, that's what they call it.
Like the first couple times I was like, oh, come on, give me a break. And I'm like, fine, whatever. You don't need this. You have a solid enough plot.
Yeah.
But fine, get it, move on. And then they did that one scene where the two, they're all doing like a lot of paperwork. And the two girls get up and they're just like, oh, we're gonna make food for everyone. And I'm
because we are the girls here.
yeah, I mean, whatever though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about that so much as like they get up, they leave the room, and then suddenly they're in the doorway again with the one girl who's now naked except for she's wearing an apron, and suddenly she's just like, they're like, oops. And I'm like, I don't even know how you, like, I didn't get how you did some of the other stuff either, but I certainly don't get how this happens. And then the guys are like, well, I guess we better go make food, and they go make food. I'm like, so this scene was pointless.
Yeah.
It wasn't even not to show anything, and I was just like, I know.
Yeah.
I wanted to. You had some really cool things going on. It's very shonen.
Yeah.
And
parody,
I love it, but I hate it.
parody and satire are very hard to do. And if you don't do them properly, you just end up looking like the thing that you're actually trying to satirize. And, it's like, it just doesn't, if that was meant to be satire, that'd be one thing. But really what it reads as is, hey, the stuff that we put into these manga because we want, like, 14-year-old boys to read it and get all horned up about it. Well, it's in this one too. Don't worry, we don't actually, it's winking, and it's like, no, but it still is there, isn't it? It's like, yeah. So
there's
that, like, the whole big fight that they had where she was completely goddamn useless, I was like, well, that sucks. And just like, I got kind of burnt out.
Oh, sure.
on the Fire
there
Force.
was that fight that felt like we're watching a girl get punished because we need to see how evil this guy is.
Yeah.
So he's gonna beat her to death, which I was also not super into.
No.
But I'm like, okay, you know what? It's sure, cleavage, guy running into the hallway, accidentally getting his face in her boobs, whatever. He somehow just mystically has her walk into him, and then suddenly his hands are behind all of her clothes.
Yeah.
What little there are of them. And like, how did... That's not...
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Mm.
So we dropped it.
Yeah.
Vinland Saga. This is supposed to be amazing. I was not in the mood to watch something like
About
this.
Vikings.
Yeah. So I didn't. But anyone I've ever heard talk about the manga, and it's number 3, right? Like, I mean, this is number 2, but I mean, this is number 3. Everybody that I've heard who's ever talked about Vinland Saga, I think even Ian's mentioned this, says it's incredible. Read it, watch it, please do it. I wasn't in the mood to. I don't even know if I'll get around to watching it anytime soon. But I hope you enjoy it. Ensemble Stars. Wow, that's a lot of...
Oh, that's a bunch of different idol groups.
Sure is. Oh, it's an idol raising game. Ah.
Of the idol raising game Ensemble Stars. Am I playing this game?
The protagonist is the school's lone female student who transfers to the school because of a special situation. Enter the school's producer department. You have probably already played this game, I bet you.
I might have.
All right, movies. I have a feeling we didn't watch any movies this year.
Yeah, probably not.
So
We don't typically.
Yeah. Right, there's the Legend of Galactic Heroes movies. We didn't watch the new CG
Well, I
Lupin
mean, that
one
just came
yet
out in theaters.
because December the 6th.
I think.
Yeah.
I hear good things about it. I really should watch some Precure. It's not going to give me the magical girl fix I want, but I should watch some.
OVAs, ONAs. I didn't watch any of this I didn't even watch One Punch Man 2 yet, and I should get around to that. Nelpeta looks cute, but after her older sister's death by an accident.
It's not. I just kind of want it to be an anti-PETA anime.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they did a short. Cool. All right. Well, whatever. Might have to watch that at some point. Frag Time. I read the manga for this. It's real weird.
All right.
Yeah. I should watch it though, if I can find it.
If we didn't watch any of these, why don't we just?
I'm going to. Just want to ensure that there's nothing that I missed. Oh, look. There's Tiny Starlight.
Tiny Starlight.
Remember Starlight? Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I remember Starlight. I mostly remember the giraffe.
Yeah. Simple Gear got something. It says in 15, whatever that. Ah, right. There's the mini versions of the Demon Girl Next Door that we haven't watched yet.
I mean, you can watch those on your own.
Lupin.
They're going to be all little comedy, funny things, and that's not why I watched that show.
Yeah. And that puts that at the end of that. Skip up to the top. All right.
Winter 2020. Because
So, that was the review.
Next season winter.
Yeah. So, this is apparent. I believe this is all in broadcast order, actually. So what we'll probably do is we'll sort this one by title.
It just said popularity, but that
was it
last
popularity?
one didn't feel like it. No, it's this title.
Title. So 22/7.
Digital Idol and Voice Actors Project, produced by the famous producers. Yeah, audience will witness the secrets behind the group's debut and the story leading up to the creation. I mean, that could be cute. It could be.
It seems. It just when I read it, I was like, this just seems like any other sort of we're making idols and it's the AKB48 guy, but this just kind of seems like it's a thing where it's like we're making another. We're creating this thing. It just I don't know. Whenever I think about like idol creation in Japan, it always feels less about. It always feels less about these people are amazing at the thing they do, and more about we're making this thing because we need to make a product.
Well, yes, that is the idol industry as a whole in Japan. But usually when they do a show, especially if they're doing fictional idols, it's all about, it's basically shonen in the terms of like, here's a group of people who really want to do this thing, friendship and power and whatnot, and they sing.
This is a real project.
Yes.
And this is a behind-the-scenes look at a real project of virtual idols.
Yes.
And that just seems really odd to me, that it's like we're going to make up a bunch of backstories about things that are probably as fictional as anything else. And I'm like, I don't know what to make of any of that. It's
like I said, it could be really cute.
Could be.
Speaking of idols, these two look like idols.
Oh, yeah. Mankai Company is a far cry from its glory days as an all-male theater.
Theater. Okay.
But it is a music thing, so... Anyway.
Musical theater.
I'm not interested in this one. Maybe you will be interested. Oh, it's based on a video game. Huh.
That means... That could mean
just
anything.
Interesting that came up as a thing. ARP Backstage Pass. Oh, look at those boys.
A lot of Music Boys this upcoming season.
Singing, dancing, and interactive talking with the audience. This is, I believe, is a real thing. I have a feeling it's a real thing, and this is the fake front on a real thing. You know, the explanation of something that is a real thing. But anyway, wow, we're gonna just keep
There's the
rolling
girl
into
one.
more music, more Bang Dream. All right,
3rd season.
Bandori. Oh, okay. We finally get into something that isn't music related. Boku no tonari ni
We hit,
ankoko
what, 5
hakai
music
shin.
shows in a
Yeah,
row?
hakai shin ga imasu. This didn't really.
Trying to have a normal high school life, instead he ends up acting as the straight man to his odd classmate Kabuto. Kabuto is a delusional high school student whose fantasies range from believing he is a knight on a journey to claiming that removing his eye patch will... Okay, so he's a chuny. Will release his darker alter ego, who he refers to as Michael Offenbarung Dunkelheit. Okay, I give you props for a weird name.
Yeah.
So he's determined not to let himself get pushed around by Kabuto, but it seems that it will be easier said than done. Alright, normal classmate meets a bunch of weirdos, shenanigans.
I like Roasted Gravy thing being like, oh, Don Quixote the anime. And it's like, yeah, that probably is how that's supposed to feel. That's
I like
kinda
that they
cool.
didn't bother trying to explain him as being chuny. They went with the whole, he's a bit delusional, here's some stories he makes up.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to shorthand it.
I don't know if this
I
is
can't
my
cease
thing.
watching that.
Yeah. An original called Breakers,
Ooh.
which is not about cheer boys.
Humans have the power to release their potential under various conditions. Those who break through the wall named The Limit. That is a para-athlete. Boys and girls who met heretic sports scientist Narita Ren got hints from Narita. As a para-athlete, a hot story that grows by opening the door to potential. I don't think I understood a single thing.
Well, yeah, I don't get it either. We'll see.
Could be fine.
There's only 4 episodes. Darwin's Game. Story centers on Kaname Sudo, a high school boy who's drawn to a mysterious game app named Darwin's Game. He becomes involved in a social game where the stakes are life or death. Oh, how about that?
The
Death game.
the murder game, but with a phone app.
Probably, yeah. So,
Those come in waves. They didn't used to revolve around phone apps, but hey, I guess maybe Magical Girl Raising Project did well enough. They think they can do that too.
here we go. Dorohedoro. Yep. This is based on a manga. Corey was reading this, actually. She said you should read it. I tried. I couldn't because I don't like the art style.
Yeah,
It's very detailed, but extremely messy in how detailed it's drawn.
I get the feeling that if you really like the art style on this probably really jives with you, and if you don't, it's probably a lot harder to take in.
Yep.
So, story revolves around Kaiman, who does not remember who he was before he was transfigured by a magic user. He has now a reptile's head and a desire to find out the truth of who he really is. Okay, so the amnesia syndrome. Accompanied by Nikaido, his female companion, he tracks down magic users in the hole and unceremoniously chomps down on their head, hoping to find out who put him in this state. One by one, they witness this second man inside the head of Kaiman, and after pulling them back out of his mouth, he asks them all a question. What did the guy inside my head say? Alright, it gives them props for sounding interesting.
It's super interesting, right? Like, I couldn't get into it. Maybe I'll watch an episode to see if I like it better. Action, adventure, fantasy, comedy, horror. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like it all tracks.
Yeah, some people are saying apparently it's pretty violent. I could see that.
Oh, yeah.
I could definitely see it being fairly violent, which probably wouldn't help me too much, but it does sound fairly interesting.
Wow, the Shadowrun campaign sounds exciting. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna,
A maybe watching for me. Eizoken ni wa te wo dasu. Story follows Midori, Tsubame, and Sayaka, an energetic trio of first-year high school girls who come together in the Eizoken
Video Research Club.
To turn their anime dreams into reality. Midori is nervous to create an anime alone. She meets Tsubame, who appears to be a well-to-do girl, but she really has artistic dreams of being an animator, which means she won't be well-to-do very long. Midori's best friend Sayaka has the financial sense to bring the project to fruition and joins the pair on their quest. So it's 3 high school
get
girls
together and do a thing.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Could be.
Yep.
Could not be. I mean, that
it
type
seems...
of anime goes back and forth. Sometimes they're really good.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're less great.
Yep. I would love it if this turns out to be a thing where it's like they try to do a thing and what they picture in their head is different from what they're actually able to produce, which is kind of like in Shirobako when you watch the girls in high school try to make a thing and it's a huge amount of work, and what they end up making is something that's fairly middling. Like it's just kind of like, it's about what I expected a high school kids just really trying their hardest. Like that one show we watched about the kids trying to make a game together. Where the girl was like, I have an idea for a game, and she keeps dragging people in to be a part of making the game
Was
with
she
her.
the one who had like a secret agenda for why she needed to make the game?
I think so, yeah, because she wanted to make a game, and then she wanted to like prove to her big brother that she could make a
I want to point out
game.
to you that when you say, remember that one where the girl wanted to make a video game,
Yeah.
is not descriptive enough to narrow down anything.
I'm out of
That's
something to drink.
all of them. But I do like the girl in the middle's face in this piece of art, and I kind of dig the art style they're showing there. So it might be really interesting to see.
Could be interesting. This is the new Masaki Yuasa anime. Well, it's going to be ridiculously animated then, I imagine.
All right, probably fun.
Haikyuu, more Haikyuu if you like Haikyuu.
Hey, I hear Haikyuu is like one of the things to watch if you're really into sports anime.
It's number one right now for the
Yes.
season. So yeah,
It's apparently really good if you're into sports.
yeah. Hatina Illusion
Oh man, cute girl.
centers on Makoto Shiranui, a boy who travels to Tokyo seeking to become the apprentice of Mamoru Hoshisato, a world-famous magician and friend of his parents. Ever since he had watched a show by Mamoru and his wife Maeve, he's dreamed of being a
Really
magician.
need you to slow down. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Their daughter Kana... God, this just goes on.
Nicknamed Hatena has become
Makoto's
Makoto's friend since childhood. Even though Tokyo has had a rash of burglaries by a beautiful woman thief, Makoto can rest easy as long as Hatena is there. When he arrives at the Hoshisato residence, a haunted mansion, the family butler Jeeves and the maid Emma greet him, and he's reunited. I won't watch this.
Yeah. Well, strap in.
No!
Yeah.
Why must you ruin all the good things?
I
Why
did my
did you have to
best.
point that out?
Because you needed to know before we started it, I think.
Well, no, let the anime ruin itself for me.
All right.
Okay, fine. We should watch Pretty Cure.
No.
I should watch.
You should watch Pretty Cure. Anyway. Healin' Good. I like that it has the apostrophe.
Pretty Cure. You know, they've added a heart this time instead of a star.
I'm going to watch an episode of this. Hoseksho Richard Shi no Nazo Kante.
The heartwarming jewel mystery series centers on the handsome jewelry appraiser Richard What's-His-Face and the bright and cheerful college student Saiji as they uncover the hidden messages that lie within jewels while they solve various jewel-related cases by unraveling the hidden psychological aspects of their owners.
That lie
man, yeah, I kinda
within
wanna watch
the
this.
gems.
I want to watch it.
Yeah.
This is going to be either really good or not.
Yeah. This sounds so dumb.
Yes.
It also, when I watched the trailer for it, it looks like it's a low-level shonen ai. So we'll see if that's what comes of it or not. But yeah.
I'd invaded. invaded. I'd invade that. What? All these people are coming out of his brain.
The virtual world of id invaded is full of tumbling, floating houses, colliding masses of land, and disappearing structures. Sakaido, detective, finds himself in this world and is quickly tasked with unraveling the murder of Kayaru, a young girl who was fatally stabbed. Soon it becomes apparent that the unconventional physical rules of the new world aren't limited to buildings or roads, and Sakaido's body also presents various states of disconnection. So, could be psychological as on top of mystery? I'm not sure.
Not
really.
It's not really pulling me in.
Yeah, we'll see.
Infinite Dendrogram.
Dendrogram.
Well, they all look like they're friends.
Oh, look at that.
Except for the two people in the back.
Infinite Dendrogram is the world's first successful full dive VR MMO. So that's
It's
a
the
virtual
year
world.
2043.
That's a virtual world.
Now we know when VR will finally take off.
Yeah, 23 years from.
Don't
few hours
invest
from now.
now. Invest later. In addition to its ability to perfectly simulate the five senses. Oh yeah. You might
full dive.
You might want to push your year date back, anime. Along with its many amazing other features, the game promised to offer players a world full of infinite possibilities. 2 years later, soon to be college freshman, this dude is finally able to buy a copy of the game and start playing because this thing is probably really expensive somehow. And with some help from his experienced older brother Shu and his partner Embryo, yep, he embarks on an adventure into the world of
I feel like
thing.
Embryo is like a game character. Yeah.
Just what will he discover and encounter in this game world, known for its incredible realism and infinite possibilities?
So what happens in this game? What's the hook?
Well, if it's like any other game, he gets stuck, and then he can't come out.
Does he?
I don't know.
What happens? This just introduces
Action,
all this does is
Sci-fi.
introduce
fantasy.
that there's a game and that this guy buys it 2 years late. Then he starts
Oh, no.
playing it.
No one else is in the MMO now because they've all moved on. No, the worst gamer dream ever.
There's nothing
No
that
one is
tells
there.
us what actually happens to him.
They're about to turn off the servers
when
and
he
he'll be
gets
stuck
in.
inside forever. What will he do?
Who knows what happens? Could be anything. Anyway.
How will he get through college?
Oh, perfect. I'm going to watch this. Ishizoku reviewers.
Beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder. From elves to succubi to cyclopses and more. The Yaruna Gloss reviewers are here to rate the red light delights of all manner of monster girls. Of course you're watching this.
Yep.
The only thing is, they can never agree on which species are the hottest.
Yep.
Okay, so hot or not, the monster edition.
Yep. This is going to be
You're watching this
super
alone.
etchy.
You're watching this alone.
Yeah. This is going to be... Don't watch this with anybody else around. This is going to be really
no,
perverted.
if you got friends who were into it,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
Beach is not going to have any friends.
This is not... Anyway, I think I'm reading the manga for this. There's about a dozen manga that have the same...
What manga are you not reading?
Oh, there's a few.
I'm sure the list is shorter.
Yeah. Itai no wa iya nano bogyo ryoku ni kyokufuri shitai no omoimasu. Oh, this. I can tell from the
light
thing I
novel.
said. It basically is, what if I make a defense first build or whatever. This is another VR MMO.
Okay.
So we gone from isekais. It's all VR MMOs
VR
this season.
MMOs are the new thing.
So here's the thing: is that this girl's invited by her friend to play this game, and she's like, "I don't want to play it because I don't want to get hurt." But then again, hey, you know what? What if I just put all of my stats in defense, all of them into defense? And so then she did.
She's got a magic deck full of walls.
It's kind of funny. The manga has some shortcomings. I'm gonna watch an episode or two of it. Maybe if it follows a light novel, it works better. I don't really know. It's interesting and funny, but where it kind of is right now, it feels like just a really kind of light storytelling, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Jibaku Shonen Hanako-kun. I'm probably gonna give this a miss.
Hanako-kun lives in the girls' toilet on the 3rd floor in the old school building, and will grant anyone a wish for a price. We go looking for that person for a love encounter, and then it's not quite what we think.
Okay, so Hanako-san is one of the 7 school mysteries kind of thing that you always hear, right?
Oh, yes.
It's one of those style of things where it's like, if you go to the toilet in the girls' room on wherever.
In the old school building, because for some reason we have another school identical to this school, but old, and we never demolished it, so we left it because it's haunted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where we run all of our tests of courage.
If you go into that stall...
I mean, I do like that show.
And you wait there... You will meet Hanako-san who will kill you or whatever, like that kind of thing, right? Or it's a toilet ghost is what it is. But anyway, yeah.
Yes, no, the description was very clear about the kind of ghost.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's a comedy that's based on this weird thing, and I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but I kind of don't care.
I'm not going to watch it, but
I don't think I'm going to watch it.
Goes there, finds girl, not a ghost, or possibly a ghost, but doesn't think it's a ghost.
I think it's Yashiro Nene goes there to find Hanako-san. I think this is Nene, and I think this one's Hanako.
Yeah, but it's either not really a ghost, or it is a ghost, but they don't think it's a ghost because it doesn't act like the ghost, like you expect the ghost to act. But this person or ghost can't actually grant wishes regardless, and then they both become friends.
Rock pusher with shitters haunted, pumps plunger, shitters haunted. What? Shitters haunted.
It's Luigi. It's Luigi with the
Yeah,
plunger.
yeah. Anyway, that's real good. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone knows ghosts can't grant wishes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be stuck in toilets.
All right. Koisuru Asteroid.
And this looks like something you want to watch.
I don't think I cared.
But they're camping and stargazing or something. Like, that's...
But I don't...
You watch a lot of camping anime.
I don't... This is about...
Camping.
She has to... She met a boy or a girl, or they met... Two people met when they were young, and then years later, she enrolls at a high school and joins the astronomy club so she can name a star after this boy, and then the clubs are going to merge, and then meets the person, the boy, except the boy is a girl, and then they're joined by more people, and I'm just like, nah. Like,
Okay.
I
I feel like you tried to read through the description once, and then you got bored halfway through, and you're like, I'm not this anime anymore.
It's just not. No. I just don't think I can.
Okay.
What always happens with this stuff is that I start watching stuff for this season, and then I'm like, oh, when is the other stuff coming out that I wanted to watch? Nothing else is coming out that I wanted to watch. I have like 4 things. Okay, I'll pick this up and pick that up and see if I can find anything else that I want to plug in. And I just couldn't, like, this did not grab me right away. So we'll see what happens. It's time to see what dragon tastes like. This is Kute Dragons. The crew of the airship Queen Zaza mix their living hunting dragons. Succeed and the reward is riches and all the meat they can eat. Fail and all that awaits them is a messy end. To follow the grand hunting and cooking adventure of the Queen Zaza as they chase dragons across the sky.
You know what? We had dragons around for a real long time, but has anyone tried eating one?
We should
You
eat
should
dragon.
try
Yeah.
eating a dragon.
Yeah.
They're not sentient or smart or hard to defeat with large scales. There's probably meat under all those scales.
Oh, yeah. Wodar says this is a good manga. I haven't read the manga.
Just think the title's really funny.
Yeah. This did not appeal.
It's time to see what they taste like.
This did not appeal to me as an idea, but the art style is very interesting, and the way they're drawing all the characters is very interesting, and I'm kind of keen to see what might happen with it. Like,
it's kind of a weird angle.
Yeah, it's a super weird angle to draw.
Slight up curve.
They're all drawn like actual people.
I mean, sure, and I think the art style looks kind of interesting. I guess they really want us to see that blimp.
Yeah, I don't.
They hunt dragons with blimps.
They do. The crew of the airship Queen Zaza. So,
that says airship. I'm talking about a blimp. Airships don't have to be blimps.
This is a maybe for me. We'll see what happens. Kyoko Suiri.
I can tell from the artwork that this is a no for you.
Comedy horror, really?
Supernatural.
I don't know.
At the young age of 11, Kotoko was abducted by yokai for 2 weeks and has to become their god of wisdom, a mediator between the spirit and human worlds, to which the girl quickly agreed, but at the cost of her right eye and left leg.
Hey, we need you to do this thing for us. Really? I guess I can do that. Great. We're gonna just take off your eye and your leg. Wait, what? No, I changed my mind.
Well, it's that or we take all of you. Okay. Now, 6 years later, whenever the yokai wish for their problems to be solved, they make their way to Kotoko for consultation. Meanwhile, some other 22-year-old university student has just broken up with his girlfriend after he fled alone when he encountered a kappa. Seeing this as her chance to become closer with him, Kotoko immediately makes her move, hoping to get married. Wait, she's like 11?
11. Yeah, he's 22 years old.
Oh, no, wait, no, she would be 17 now.
Oh, yeah, 6 years later.
Less weird. However, she quickly realizes there's something more to Kuro. With this knowledge, she asks for his help in solving the various issues presented by the supernatural, all the while wishing her newfound partner will eventually reciprocate her feelings.
Yeah, you know,
right.
it's a Natsume Book of Friends, but
no, it's not.
Well, it's got yokai in it, and they need to solve problems.
That's not Natsume. Natsume is gentle and awesome.
Yeah.
This is going to be closer to that one where the dude opens the door.
The Moros Monogatari, or
Yeah.
Mononoke-an. Well, no, because this is a romance as well, and
Well,
yeah, I know.
yeah.
That's fair. It's
I-
Natsume Extreme. There we go. Thank you, Melody Dark. Extreme.
They should make more Natsume. I mean,
we'll
I know
see.
they've made a lot of it, but I could go for more of that.
Magia Record. Maho Shoujo Madoka Magica Gaiden.
Oh, but I still
look
have
at
to
that.
watch the movies.
Yeah. This is Madoka Magica side story.
A new tale, guided by a mysterious power, magical girls gather in a city. Magical girls can stay as they are in the city. The girls draw out new power in which to fight against wishes. What's going on in the city? There's a lot going on.
Another
here.
Homura is in this.
Basically, if you like Magica Madoka, probably watch more.
People have said, isn't that the mobile game? Well, Source,
Yeah.
video game. There you go.
I tried the mobile game. It's fine. I have a hard time sticking with mobile games where I have to constantly be back for things, and that was one of them.
I'm a probably skip that. So, Orphan.
Hey, I remember this from the 90s.
Yeah, a remake of the original 98-99 anime of the same name to commemorate the
I
novel's 25th anniversary.
I didn't watch it, but I remember the name coming up a lot in the 90s.
Yeah, so there you go. I didn't care much about it in the beginning. I was just like, I don't know what this is, and kind of didn't grab me. Why remake that? It's the novel's 25th anniversary.
It's 25th anniversary.
And-
It probably did very well.
Yeah, so there you go.
So
It's like, why remake Sailor Moon?
whenever-
Well, because it was the
whenever-
anniversary.
Well, that's the thing. Whenever you say why is this thing being remade, the answer is always money, and it was probably popular enough for money.
Yeah.
They think that this will do well enough that they should remake it.
Wait for the Slayers
Or-
remake.
Man,
They'd have to get Megumi Hayashibara back, but yeah.
I don't know. Sailor Moon remake did not go over well for me, but other remakes have been pretty good.
Simriel's like, they remade Sailor Moon? Oh, you're one of today's lucky 10,000. Okay.
Sailor Moon Crystal.
Yes. Yeah. It looks real weird.
It's
And follows the manga and is not as goofy.
well, kind of follows the manga. It doesn't. It said they'd follow the manga. That's a lie, based on some other stuff that they do.
Sure, but yeah.
It's not what I wanted.
They have
Apparently, if you haven't watched the original, it's fine. Some people who've even watched the original have no problem with it. I'm not one of those, even though I still want to watch it. I just want more Sailor Moon.
They are not
We're
remaking
supposed to-
Slayers.
We're supposed to have stars now.
Yeah, they are not remaking Slayers. Yes, I would watch a Slayers remake. I never watched Slayers until after we were dating.
Oh, but it's so
Or
good.
almost married, and you're like, you need to watch this. I'm like, really? And like, it's real good. And I watched the first season with you. I'm like, shit, this is really good.
Yes.
And to be frank, like a lot of the stuff that we watched early, they can definitely sell it back to us, and I'm sure we would. Seeing what you could do with those series, I always think that when you do a remake, I think seeing a 16:9 HD remake of stuff is always really great because it's nice to see what they want to put more time into animating. But some stuff I also feel like Escaflowne gets brought up, and I'm like, I don't know if Escaflowne or Nadeshiko, Martian Successor Nadeshiko, need remakes. They never really felt to me like animation was like there was a part they were suffering from, but I could kind of see
liked
people wanting
Escaflowne.
that. So yeah,
I always forget that I saw the ending, and then I remember I saw the ending.
yeah,
And then I get mad about the ending.
yeah.
And then
Okay.
I revert back to being like, yeah, I like Escaflowne.
Yeah, I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more Card Captor Sakura Clear Card, like Dark Morford brought up. It's like Clear Card was
Yeah.
kind of fun.
I'm surprised there's been no announcement about more. Like,
I don't think I can think because they didn't do very well.
I mean, sure, it's very slow paced compared to a lot of stuff. I can see it maybe not resonating with a lot of people, but
Yeah.
it felt like more Card Captor Sakura. It was one of the things I was very excited about because of that.
I really loved Escaflowne. I thought it was a lot of like a really nice show. You know,
Yeah, or like bring out a really good remaster. It doesn't necessarily need a remake. That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's like that.
yeah.
Original Bubblegum Crisis.
Anyway, moving on from Orphan because I'm not going to watch that. Murenase Shiton Gakuen. So this is at some sort of Oh, Seiton Academy, a school full of animals where, thanks to population decline, there are fewer humans than any other creature. Mazamajin, an animal hater and the only human male in his class, falls in love with Hino Hitomi, the only female human, the moment he lays eyes on her. However, he soon finds himself entangled with various other creatures after he reluctantly joins the pack of Lanka the wolf, the only other member of her pack.
So, it's a world full of...
It's Monster Girls, the high school.
Yeah, a dude who doesn't like monster girls.
Yep.
Or monster people in general.
Falls in love with the only other human female who probably isn't a human female. I bet you she's something he can't figure
a
out.
vampire.
Who knows?
We've already seen that anime.
I'll watch a couple episodes of this probably,
Yeah, you
but
will.
I don't really. I mean, but you know why? Because I wouldn't have given a shit at this. You know what got me? That.
The lion.
Yeah, I got to see what that's all about.
Maybe all the cat girls are like that. What was that anime called?
No,
Loveless.
One's a wolf.
Once they've
She's the wolf.
once they've had their first kiss, suddenly their ears just pop off.
She's gonna be a fox.
So you know.
Yep.
You know they did
That
it.
one back there's a fox. This one is. I can't tell. Looks like some sort of plant-based girl.
It doesn't matter.
That one's a panda.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Maybe we'll see.
Sloth.
I don't
That
know.
is a sloth.
Yeah, sloth one. That sounds great.
Okay.
Let's do that. Nekopada. Neko Works announced a Comic Hit 95, a new TV anime series based on Neko Power visual novels.
Well,
Cool.
number
I don't know anything about it.
24.
Sorry.
The anime's college rugby
All
story.
right. Yeah, they're all prisoners.
They kind of
Rugby shirts.
centers on Natsusa Yuzuki, who expects to be an ace on the rugby team when he enrolls in college. However, he is no longer able to play rugby due to certain circumstances. Dun dun dun. Ibuki is an older fellow student who quits rugby.
What?
Oh no, Yasunari is a younger student who finds Natsusa disagreeable. Yue is a younger student who admires and follows Natsusa. Sechiro is Natsusa's close childhood friend, and together they compete in the Kansai University Rugby League. Don't know how the guy who quit rugby is there, but he is.
Dragged his ass back into it, like the dude in
Okay.
that Hello Kitty anime.
This dude right here, he is doing a cat blep
He is.
for some reason.
Blep. Anyway.
I don't know rugby.
No, I don't care.
Watch these boys play rugby. Sports.
Okay, I will watch an episode of this. I don't expect it to be amazing, but
Oh,
I will probably
right.
watch an episode of this if I can find it.
Oda Cinnamon Nobunaga
I do
in
not
this-
expect this to be amazing or even good.
in the one-of-a-kind samurai general reincarnated as a K9 comedy. Nobunaga perishes at Honoji as in history and reincarnates in modern-day Japan as a dog named Shinamon. Other
Cinnamon.
warring states era warlords such as Takeda Shingen eventually join him, also as dogs.
Nobunaga. If you were into
That is definitely a good name for that.
Yeah,
I kind of want to watch some of it.
yeah. Might be good, might not be good. I don't care. We'll just see what happens.
He's just, I like it's like, okay, Nobunaga, yeah, popular thing to do, yeah, but what's your twist? As a dog. Wait, during
During the period?
the
No.
Warring States period? No.
Modern
He
day
dies
Japan.
and becomes a dog in modern day Japan. All right, where's the conflict there? So do the others. The others also die, and I saw a mouse run across the floor over there, so that's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We should probably put some food away.
Yeah, we should. Cool. Oshiga Budokan ite kuretara shinu.
I'll just post a thing in Slack.
A girl is obsessed with her favorite idol, a minor member of a less popular group, enough that she said she died to see her play at Budokan. There's a lot of trash in here, actually. We probably should just take some of it outside, too. It's the holidays, right? Your janitor goes on vacation or is off for a
Well,
bit.
we also have like some stuff just like hanging out. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
packaged stuff, but
Yeah, we can probably get some of that put away a little bit better. That's okay, though. Yeah. She died to see her play at Budokan. And like they bring it up, the plot twist, she dies and they play at Budokan, I guess. Thank you, Holo the Wise Wolf. I don't know what happens. kind of don't care what happens. Moving on. Pet. The psychic suspense story revolves around people who possess the ability to infiltrate people's minds and manipulate memories. Their powers have been used in the underworld for covering up incidents, assassinations, and other deeds. These powers can not only destroy other people's spirits, but also corrupt the user's own hearts at the same time. The users had to protect their fragile and insecure hearts as if chained to each other. They are called pets out of fear and despising. Didn't care about this either. I didn't pet anime.
Pet. Nah, I'd rather watch Nobudagun.
Yeah.
Or whatever that's called. Nobudaga.
Yeah. Just kind of didn't really get me. Please enjoy.
I mean, it could be cool.
Yeah, it could be.
It's got a very short, easy to say name.
Pet.
Like Plunderer.
Yeah. It's the year 305 of the Alcyon calendar. Oh, God. And the world is currently controlled by numbers. So is ours.
Oh, right.
Every human born is branded with a capital C count. This count can be anything: the amount of kilometers you've walked, the amount of people who've said your food is tasty. If your count drops to 0, you'll be sent into the abyss, capital A. After Hina's mother's count dropped to 0, her last request for Hina to look for the legendary Red Baron. That lady I've seen in many anime before with her tits out as well. So
here's what I don't get.
What's that?
Everybody's got some sort of
Count.
number
Yeah.
that is a count. And if you're in, and it doesn't, you I guess maybe know what your count is based on. And if your count drops to 0, then bad thing happens.
Well, you go to the abyss. We don't know if that's a bad thing or not. They call it the abyss.
Probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't recall anything called an abyss that's turned out to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Something nobody calls it the abyss of candy.
Yeah.
So, if one of the things you can have as your number is the amount of kilometers walked or the number of people who have said your food is tasty, how does it go down to 0?
Well, it's checking them off, isn't it? Like it says you have 1,000 of these that you can get through. And once you've walked 1,000 kilometers, it's counting down, I think is the idea.
I don't know. I would count that up. You walk backwards. Oh no, I've walked backwards too much.
I'm having a hard time sussing what fashion anybody is dressed in any of this. Because I'm like, are these people supposed to be like that one dude is
Trying to be El Hazard.
it's just I don't know how everyone is dressed, and I'm like, is anyone supposed to be a pirate? Are they supposed to be
I don't think they're
dudes in like that
supposed to be
pseudo military thing in the back? And then we have some like, are they nuns?
That
I don't really get it.
no, I think they're soldiers.
Sure.
Like they kind of
Yeah.
it's a uniform of some kind.
I like the premise. Or Rare Monster says, is the premise generic action intrigue anime, but the author can make people explode at narrative convenience?
Counts up.
Oh, does it?
Well, that's what Diabor says, and it
Higher
proves my
numbers are
point,
higher status.
So I'm just gonna say I believe them.
So how does your count drop to 0? Does that mean you have to keep
I
it
feel like that means you got a bad count.
like it counts down and then you have to keep doing things to keep it counting up? I don't
know.
Hey, you know what? Not gonna watch it. Sorry. All right. Rike ga koi ni ochita no de shome shite mita. Yukimura Shinya and Himuro Ayame are two scientists that want to find out if love can be solved by scientific theory. The two scientists also have feelings for each other and want to be able to solve their true feelings through similar theoretical facts. With this perfect opportunity, these scientists will attempt to solve the theory of the love they express for each other. All episodes will be released on the same day on Amazon Prime.
All right, so binge.
Comedy, romance, ecchi. This sounds to me like some of those other weird comedy, science, ecchi things that I've seen in the past, where it's been like, let's talk about psychology or sexual health.
I feel like it's gonna be too like a weird thing where these two scientists are like, hey, we seem to like each other. We should study that science. We can do that because it's the two of us. All right, cool. But let's also do that by also not admitting our feelings to each other. But let's have some wacky hijinks, chemical solutions blow up in our faces, and then bad things happen, and we touch each other's boobs a lot. It's kind of how I see that happening.
Lamina says this was a fun read. Okay, so this could be a fun watch. Maybe I will see if I can watch it at some point. It sounded interesting enough that I would probably watch a couple episodes of, give it a try. Runway de Warate.
Yeah, this is the one I made you put on the list.
Yeah, she's too short to be a model, but she's going to be a Paris Collection model. She's not going to give up. And then she has a friend, a poor student named Ikuto Tsumoto, also has a dream to be a fashion designer. He is too short to be a fashion designer. I don't know. There's probably a reason why he can't do it. Story of two individuals wholeheartedly chasing after their dreams in spite of all the negativity that comes after them. So people don't think we can do the thing that we want, and we are going to do it. So let's just do it. That could be cool. I know you're going to enjoy it.
I think probably. I mean, not necessarily. I have my limits on certain things, but we'll see.
Show by Rock, Mashumaeresh. The new anime will center around the band Mashumaeresh, which includes guitarist and vocalist Hoan of Fox lineage, guitarist and vocalist Mashima Himeko of Striped Cat lineage, bassist and vocalist Delman of the Devilment Kiryu lineage, and drummer and vocalist Ruhuyu of Wolf Girl lineage. It's another music one. I don't think I will. Somari Tomori no Kami-sama. I'm going to watch this because I am reading it. Somali's the cute little girl there. Human beings are persecuted in this world. And this person here is a golem, a watchman of the forest.
So that's their actual face. It's not like a mask or anything.
Sure. Anyway.
You said you read the thing.
I have.
So stop acting coy.
That's not what his face looks like.
So it's a mask.
Yes.
Was that so hard?
It's not a mask in the way that
Just say it's a mask.
It's a mask. Anyway, Somali is a human girl. Humans are persecuted. She meets this golem in the forest. And he's a watchman, and the two of them pair together and develop a bond of father and daughter, and it's very cute. And it's also, there's some hardship, and it's about their travels, and I think it's interesting. The manga isn't like Lone Wolf and Cub. It's very, it's different. He's looking after her, but he's trying to learn what it's like to be kind of a dad, but is also doesn't really. It's hard. It's nice because you get to see them try to go, because they have an idea in mind. I believe the idea is that he's going to try to take her to a place where there are other humans, but again, humans are persecuted because they've been terrible to the world that they live in.
I'm assuming we've given her a cute little hoodie thing so she looks less human.
Yeah, the idea is they got this they got this cloak for her to wear with the horns, because that's normally where a being's horns would go into, and they stuffed it so that it looks like she has horns, so people won't try to kill her. Mm-hmm. I'm going to watch some of it, maybe all of it. We'll see.
Might be good.
Railgun T, the third season of Toaru Kagaku no Railgun. It comes after S, so T.
I did like Railgun.
I will watch this as well. I liked Railgun too.
Kind of hope it's a little more cheery than the last season.
Yeah.
The last one was
it's 25 episodes too.
But
so.
I want good things to happen to this character. I really like less bad things to happen to them, but
yeah. It also kind of leaves me wondering, that's like, how long is fucking high school? Because it feels like she should have been through this by now, right?
I've been to high school. It's forever.
Yeah.
It's so long.
Yeah.
High school never stops.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Especially if you want it to. So
high school is over if you want it. But yeah, we'll watch that, I think. Uchitama. Uchi no Tama Shirimasen ka? Spin-off of Tama and Fred's that reimagines the cast of the franchise as humans.
Okay, so clearly originally about animals
Yep.
And now they get to be humans. You know, I bet if this was a show you really liked, this is going to be really your jam. It's going to be really cute.
Yeah, absolutely.
We won't have any context.
I have no context.
So probably less interesting for us.
Yeah.
But I think the concept is cute, which, you know,
Yep.
it's definitely for somebody.
They are dogs and cats. There you go. Yokai Watch Jam. Jam. Yokai Gakuen Y Ento no So Gyu. Gu. Not Gyu, but Gu. It's Yokai Watch in school. And you can transform into Yokai Heroes. No.
No,
Sorry,
we're
ain't my
not-
thing, so.
We don't really yokai.
It's a sequel to the movie. They made the movie as a.
I mean,
looks
it
like it's a
says
spin-off,
it's a sequel, but because that's a sequel to a movie, there's probably a bit of a ramp up, so it doesn't matter if you've seen the movie or not.
Whenever I see something that has the animation at the very end of it, I always worry because I don't know. Like, I'm always like, oh, you have to literally call out that it's the animation for some reason, and I don't know why, but.
Well, because it's clearly based upon something else, and if we don't say the animation, you'll think it's the board game. Like how we have Minecraft the board game or XCOM the board game.
Yeah.
If you don't say it, then people will think you're talking about the other thing.
She reveals that she's a code man,
It's a card battle game.
and she wants to team up with this guy to participate in an Zazenon, and he reluctantly agrees. And he faces off against someone whose last name is Sionji, who I think is then also from Utena, and has a buddy named Ash Claude. I straight up don't care about this at all. It's certainly colorful, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, rolling down. I'll be watching Heya Camp if I can find someone who's translating it. It's a spin-off of Yudo Camp.
Yeah, no,
but
I
it's
know.
just the
Camping.
It's just the bits from the manga where they're like in their in their club room. So anyway, Hulang Babies Petite. Don't know anything about that. Isekai Quartet 2. Didn't watch the original. Natsunagu. Yeah,
It looks cute.
probably gonna watch this.
Are we in movies?
We're in shorts.
This looks like a movie.
A college student from Tokyo goes home to Kumamoto after losing contact with her friend after the 2016 earthquakes. There she meets individuals with colorful personalities.
Like, that looks like a movie poster.
Yeah, it does,
that
doesn't
they've-
it?
That they've drawn.
But the thing is this is tourism porn. Like, this is
Yeah.
send
I
somebody off to a
know,
place,
I
and I'm like,
know.
oh, I love that. I love this shit. Take me to another place and show me all the cool stuff you've got
Sometimes
there.
I'm not into it because it feels so dull.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, okay, now we're here, now let's start spouting facts.
Yeah.
And I can't, and it's not why I watch stuff.
Yeah.
If she's going on an actual adventure and they can put some little tidbits in, then cool, but,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm gonna watch it and see if it's like the one that we watched the one that I watched last season, which was about the weird group. It was a short and one. Oh, there's a second part coming up. We'll talk about it in a second. But that one, I will talk about that in a second. Rebirth, a series revolved around a team of 12 high school students who live to play the trading card game Rebirth for You.
Okay.
Don't know. There we go. Yatagame-chan, Kansatsuniki. This is what I was talking about. So this takes place in, is it Nagoya? Something like
Sure.
that. And because everybody in Nagoya apparently has like the way that their dialect or whatever works. Wherever this takes place, I forget. But they have a weird tick that makes them sound like a cat whenever they talk. Apparently.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Noped on that.
Yeah, I know you did. I watched it.
You gonna keep watching it?
No, I'm not.
What?
It just wasn't that interesting. I tried to be interested in it the entire time, and I just was kind of like, I got to the end, and I'm like, welp, don't care, actually. Shit. All right.
All right, cool.
Probably not going to watch any of that. So,
Basketball.
Hirono Soda is a leftover. Boku no Hero Academia is still going. Chai Fuder is obviously going for 24
Yeah.
episodes. Egg Car,
It looks weird.
Fate Grand Order, Go-Go Atamu, Kabichiko Sherlock, which we dropped. Talking about a lot of these things which we dropped or aren't just watching altogether.
Movies.
All right.
Gundam. Skip it.
Yeah, not that. Not Jewel Pet.
Jewel Pet.
King of Prism All Stars, Prism Show, Best 10.
Yep.
Kyochu Retto movie. I don't know anything. The thing about movies is that I always say, "Oh, I want to watch that," like Penguin Highway or something, right? And then I never get around to it.
It's hard because it like a lot of the time the movies they show if they're hitting theaters, they're not actually going to. We're not going to find a way to be able to watch them right away.
Yeah.
If they're TV movies, like there's no real distinction on like
Yeah.
where those things air, and we like Crunchyroll and that kind of thing typically get series.
Yeah.
So the movies are harder. You were all asking what anime Adam really wanted to watch way earlier in the stream. Well, it's this one.
Yeah. All right, I skipped all the Gundam stuff because Gundam's never really been like You want to know what Gundam series I really liked?
Turn A.
Yes.
0083.
No, I have never seen another Gundam series that I've enjoyed as much as I enjoyed Turn A. I liked Zeta Gundam. Like I liked it, and I understand why Ian likes the original and why he likes why he liked Zeta and a lot of those other things. It never quite got me in the same, like it never quite got its hooks into me in the same way. I haven't seen G Gundam. I know Ian loved that because of course of how ridiculous, that's really good. Never watched Wing, didn't really give a shit. Tried watching Gundam X, didn't really give a shit. Like a lot of that kind of sting. But Turn A Gundam had Yoko Kanno's music, which made it very easy for me to sit down and watch and listen to, and then kind of get pulled into, and was like, that's an interesting idea. What they did in it, right? Didn't watch a lot of other Gundams as a result because I'm just like, I just can't really see myself getting into it. So Ian has said I should watch Reconquista in G because I'd probably find that a little more approachable. I just never have really gotten around to it. So probably the next one I will watch will be G Gundam out of all of them anyway, because it sounds like it's just contained into itself and you can have fun.
I've seen
whatever.
Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on YTV like when a lot of anime was starting to be on YTV, so
yeah.
A lot of people started with Gundam Wing.
I just don't make it a...
saw part of Gundam Seed and didn't care. I think I've seen the first 2 episodes of Turn A and didn't care. Gundam's not my thing.
I've never really gone out of my way to actually try to involve myself in a Gundam. I sat with Ian to watch. He was rewatching Zeta, where he wanted to show me the original and show me Zeta because he wanted to rewatch them anyway. So I sat and I watched it with him. I was like, I get this. This is really neat. This is really good. It did not make me a fan. Like, I will live and die for Gundam. It never really got me in that same way. I just was like, I see why this is good. And it is good. But didn't latch into me in that way. So anyway. Yeah, Made in Abyss. Its sequel is coming out as a movie.
I thought they were doing this as a TV series.
Me too.
So I guess that changed.
Yeah.
And
so here it is. And Adam will be very happy to watch this. I will not be watching it.
No?
No. Sorry.
I will probably watch it.
Okay. Blight Fight asks, is Made in Abyss worth watching? It's a hard watch. It's kind of bleak.
It's very bleak, but in that way that like
it will make you feel things.
The characters are constantly hopeful even though they shouldn't be, and their hope just makes the bleakness bleaker.
Yeah.
Really. It's not like, oh, no, they're still hopeful and they'll get through this thing. It feels like, why are they still hopeful? They're just going to die at some point.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't.
And why did Adam want to watch that? Because Adam really likes watching stuff like this.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah. Also, just so you know, in like the first episode,
there's some weird...
The blonde girl here, she gets one of the punishments they do in the school that she goes to is that you get like whipped as a punishment or something like that.
You get strung up naked.
You get strung up nude and whipped by the schoolmistress or whatever. And it's not meant to be a sexual thing, and it's not treated like a sexual thing. It's just treated like this is a thing that happens, and it's also not treated in a way that's like sinister. It's just like whack whack whack, like that kind of thing. And it's like
it happens very quickly, and you will forget about it because other stuff happens. My understanding of the manga is that stuff seems a lot more sexual than it should be.
Yeah.
Um,
In the anime,
but
it's just treated like
the
this is
anime is a little less so.
this is supposed to be humiliating for the kid that's it's involved with it. They're not. It's not done in front of a whole bunch of like other kids.
It's weird that it's there because they mention it as a thing at the beginning. Like someone says that will happen, that will be your punishment,
Yeah.
and that kind of sounds um, like an exaggeration that they're making in order to try and scare them into not being bad kids for not following the rules or whatever. But then they show it, and it's kind of jarring when that happens because you don't expect it, or you would think that they would at least they would have that like off screen or something.
Yep.
But there are like a lot of content warnings. There's body horror and a bunch of other stuff in that show as well that if you don't deal with well, it's worth maybe
it's pretty fucking weird. Like it's definitely got a lot of things going on. It's just kind of so yeah. But let me tell you one thing, that the moment we just described about the naked whipping thing, that's not the focus of the show.
Well, no. So the focus is there's a giant hole in the ground that everyone really wants to go down because it's compelling.
Yeah.
It brings out the adventure side to you, but the further down you go, the worse things get.
Yeah. And if you try to whenever you try to come back up out of the hole, it actually slowly starts to kill you the further you come up. So you have to come up in a special like elevator or something that will actually keep you from getting fucked up.
And what they try to get people to do is to go down like a level and then come back up to get used to it. And there's like a point of no return that people can't make, and it's got some compelling things about it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of content warnings.
Yeah, a lot. So, it's a hard watch, I found. Let's see. Ongaku. A film adaptation of the Ongaku manga. So, term 2005. Story of young delinquents who decide to start a rock band despite never having touched instruments before. Seems like the kind of thing I would watch because it's a movie. I don't know if I'll get around to it, but we'll see. We'll see. Precure, Miracle Leap movie. Look at all those pretty cures. I can't even tell which are actually people. I can't even see faces.
This looks like a
Mina
series.
Anyway.
I bet it's awesome.
Saizuru Tori no Habatakanai, The Clouds Gather. That didn't really grab me. It was a drama.
I don't really want to watch.
Looks like a yaoi.
That.
Probably. Sekaiichi Hatsukoi Proposal Hen, sequel to
the first one.
Yeah, or to the second thing. It's a movie based on the thing.
Movie sequel to the series.
We'll be watching this.
If we can get a hold of this. I'm hoping it's just them trying to make the movie that they wanted to make when they were in school.
Yeah.
Because that sounds something very much of like what they would try to do.
I think I watched the trailer for this, and it's basically like, hey, look, they're all 4 years older, and they're now they're doing more stuff in the industry, and they're kind of a little more firmly established. And I'm like, oh, that sounds so great. It sounds so great that this is like they're just a little bit older now. That sounds awesome. So, yeah, can't wait to see what that's like. I don't know what Seven Seeds is. It's apparently Netflix is doing this with them. Yeah, Akka. We're getting a single episode of a little bit more Akka stuff. Special story set in the thing 1 year after the events of the television anime. So, yeah.
Maybe? I don't know.
Just to get caught up.
I liked Akka just fine, but I don't know that I would watch more of it.
I mean, to me though, because it is just one more episode, it's like it's a coda. It's an epilogue, and I'm like, that could be interesting. So, I don't know. Chubio Gekihatsu Boy is getting an OVA. Would you pick up Girls in a Dungeon? If they looked like that, I guess I would. Girls in Panzer Taiyaki War. Apparently Girls in Panzer got a film, but now this is their final film? I don't know. Anyway. Goblin Slayer sequel. Haikyuu getting a movie. Keshicho Tokumu Tokunana. Nope. We're not watching
extra
Tokunana.
half episode.
Yeah. Kyoryu Shoujo Gaoko Gao.
Typical tween, aside from the fact that she possesses strange and sometimes troubling powers. When her anger exceeds a maximum level, she turns into Gauko, the fire-breathing dinosaur girl. I mean,
I didn't hear about this, but I'm so down with this idea. Yes! Oh, yeah, I'm here. 20 episodes.
It's,
When did this came out already?
well, I mean, it started already, but... I mean, it sounds cute. It's probably made for,
We're not watching trailers on this because we don't want it to get nailed for any sort of copyright thing when the VOD goes up.
Yeah. Besides, you all have
Yeah,
Google or
go watch
whatever.
it yourself. You guys can see that. So, yeah, that seems super funny. I mean,
it's probably cute.
yeah. Anyway, so here's the shorts from Machikado Mazoku. If you didn't watch The Demon Girl Next Door, Machikado Mazoku, you should watch it. It's fun. It's an interesting take on a magical girl series, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
I wish it was less of a comedy.
I am sorry to hear that.
But that's my personal tastes and preferences.
That's fair.
I don't particularly like anime comedy.
I
I think it's fine.
I thought
as
you
one.
I thought you enjoyed it as much as I did. We enjoyed it at different levels.
We enjoyed it for different reasons,
Yeah.
and my excitement level of it will not match yours for different reasons.
That's fair. Mugen no Junin, I don't know what that's about. It's just Blade of the Immortal, but this has never really been my thing. Naka no Hito Genome Jikyo Chu, Knots of Memories. No, it's something from a manga that already exists. Null
We've been over
Petos,
this
Gun
one.
OVA, Strike the Blood.
Oh wow! For a second, I thought that was just Haruhi.
Look, it's 2 Strike the Bloods.
Strike the blood. Strike it quick. Move on.
Whoa. Strike
Light
the
novel.
Blood.
You can tell by the size of the text.
The OVA for What If You Got Transported in a Video Game with Your Mom.
I hear that didn't do so well.
Did it not? I heard people say it was really good. I don't know if it's good or not. I
just don't think as many people watched it as they thought were going to.
Yeah. But it's getting an OVA.
Like, how well a thing does not depict how good the quality of it is.
That's fair.
Necessarily, right?
I didn't really care about this whole thing. The
Sure.
whole idea of unwittingly thrown into an RPG with his mother as part of a secret government scheme. I was like, whatever.
The government has schemed against me, and they've taken me and my mom to be video game experts.
And then this is the an extra episode for the 4 boys in a thing, and that is it.
Yeah.
And it's what, like 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Just about. We have time to read all of our subs, I guess. But that's. I keep looking over, expecting to see that mouse like running towards me to bite me on the ankles or some shit. Like, just like I can't handle.
Why?
I don't know. It just weirds me out. Living in.
It's not gonna come over here.
Growing-
There's stuff
I know.
over there that it's gonna prefer to coming over here.
Growing up in Alberta and knowing that there were not supposed to be any rats around, kind of thing, is like you get used to the idea of there's just not that kind of thing. And
There's still mice.
And yeah, but so it's like, but I never even think about that kind of thing. And then to be like, oh, there's mice. We have never seen a mouse before in this building, and it's like, stands to reason we would probably see one at some point because they just would be around.
Sure.
Yeah. So
But
weird.
It just. Wait, you never saw a mouse in Alberta?
Not just walking around in your house or in the place that you work or like
You
anything
make
like
it
that.
sound like it came
Or
in
on
and
the
it's like
streets or-
walked by with a suit on. It isn't just.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
No, those are
Hello, my
frogs.
ragtime gal.
That's specifically frogs. Only frogs can do that.
Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me and you'll be left alone. So, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
You're hitting some pitches that are bothering my ears.
Yeah. Changing my voice on purpose just to annoy you. Do you
Sounds
want
like something you do.
Shall we do the full rundown for this massive subtrain of people who got a special little cute bonus stream at the end?
We should. You want to put us on booth?
Booth!
Booth.
Let me put us on booth.
So, takeaway, we're watching Nobunaga with dogs. And I don't remember any of the others.
And I got some weird titty anime I'm probably going to watch.
Yeah, but there's never a short supply of that.
Yeah. Oh, hey, no matter what, friends, sun goes up, sun goes down, titty anime. Burma shave. And more Chihayafuru, thank
Right.
Christ.
Inquisitor Gaia subscribed for 9 months. Yay, bonus into 2020.
Yeah, Coop Dog 22 for 27 months. There's a perfect cube.
The Cheese Standalone was subscribed for 22 months. Welcome back.
Mr. Fix It for 71 months. Saying happy weeb year.
Jericho Tyler for 2 months. Figured I'd sub as a little early birthday gift for
Aw.
myself. Drinking some nice Canadian whiskey in the meantime while I wait for midnight.
Like,
Happy birthday.
was that like Canadian Club or was that like Alberta Premium?
They might not even be around anymore.
Oh,
No,
I've
never
seen them
mind.
go
I
by.
see them right now. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Uh,
Can you read that?
hang on. I was going to say that was Yume, but it's not Yume. One of you has 2 kanji as your name, and I can't read that. But you subscribed for 3 months, and thank you very much.
Control Rig for 26 months. Carbs on carbs sounds good to me. Well, now I know where we are.
Dicey One for 39 months. Welcome back.
Fifth Wall for 10 months.
E-Block gave them 2020 bits. Happy soon to be New Year.
Hajnel and Dot with 95 bits saying weep shit.
Hell yeah, that good weeb shit. Trajas for 5 glorious months. Welcome back.
Pun Spectre for 31 months.
Dungeon Master 099 for 8 months. Happy New Year to you too.
Neko Daimon. Daimo? It's Daimo. Right?
Neko Daimyo.
Daimyo?
Daimyo.
Neko Daimyo.
Daimyo.
Neko Daimyo.
You know the Dai character to be big?
Daimyo.
To be big? You could think of it that way. Dai.
Meow.
Myo. Myo.
22 months.
Ice Finch with 50 bits. It's 2020 in my time zone.
Howdy Dowdy for 12 months, a full year. Hey, welcome back.
Jericho Tyler, Crown Royals, still though a reasonably good whiskey is my understanding.
I thought you were
And
reading
there's a bunch of
something
like
that really confused me.
there's a bunch of like in fact I think like they made one recently. There's a Crown Royal from like 2 or 3 years back that apparently got really high ratings on like a whiskey index or something like that, and it was a hell of a drink apparently. But Lugthor for 2 months. Oh, you came back. Great. Ooh, Beej and Heather stream is a great surprise to deal with my New Year's insomnia. Happy New Year's all. Hope you fell asleep, Lugthor.
Mad Mask, Saskatchewan for 19 months. Hi. I mean, it says SK.
Mansk.
It's probably not Saskatchewan.
That lady in plaid for 34 months. It's already 2020 here. There still aren't any flying cars. I know, right?
The Bulldog Omega has subscribed for 21 months.
That raid from Surge came in, and we got to see Damn I Am Pretty for 50 months. Time to get this in before the year is dead.
Methon We. Methan Y?
Yeah, Math and Y.
Methan Y, perhaps? 19 months. 19 months, here you go.
Great. Tide Hollow Cat for 10 months. Have you seen Girls und Panzer? Did you like it? No. I didn't see it.
You gotta clarify which question you're answering.
You know how it is?
Karsma 778 for 33 months. My first resub of the new year. 33 months. Nice.
The Other Pen subscribing for 33 months as well. Welcome back.
Pterodactyl. 29 months. Happy New Year from the new year.
Cryomancer 20XT6 has gifted 2 subs in the channel to Kuasta and Malazim. Enjoy those new subs and thank you.
Grunkus Dunkus for 27 months. Howdy, anime friends.
Howdy. Type 1 with 500 bits saying Happy New Year all.
Earth and One with 51-bit cheer. Thank you for streaming into the wee hours.
That's only 11
Nice
o'clock here.
fun.
Aquinas 0 with 100 bits for Burma Shave.
Danger Mouse has been gifted a subscription thanks to the Meerkat.
Cryomancer has no one actually ever said the 20XT6 thing is a Homestar Runner reference. It's Strong Bad's thing. Anyway, the Meerkat with 5 gift subs to Goatee 12890, Bean 74, A Small Potato, Dr. Shellbell, and Justice Juice. Welcome and thank you.
Scasher 4430 with 100 bits. Hey, Happy New Year, everyone. Glad to see you guys for the first time this year.
All right. The Meerkat with 500 bits as well. Thank you for the stream. And Happy New Year's to everyone. Happy New Year to you too.
Ice Finch with 50 bits. Enjoyed watching this. Thanks.
And Chiming Fish subscribed for 36 months. That's 3 years. Looks like my sub baby arrived just in time for the new year. So that's
Nice.
a 3-year anniversary for you and 4 sub babies. Is 9 times 4 is 36?
Yes, I understand
Yeah.
basic math, but that's just a lot of babies.
That's a lot of babies. Look at all you great people that are still in chat saying hi to us. I'm really super pleased that you guys have stuck around. I'm just actually curious how many there are.
Happy New Year to you who are
Wow.
just crossing that. That would be Mountain Time Zone.
Live for 3
It's
hours.
just crossed over, which means we got one more time zone to New Year's.
Yeah.
That
Well,
being ours.
I mean, of like a large mainland area, then there's going to be all like Easter Island and whatever
the
else
ocean.
is on Hawaii. I
The
think
ocean.
Hawaii gets one. Whoever else
Does
is in
Hawaii
the
get
Hawaii
one?
area. Yeah.
Are they?
Hawaii's on this side of the international date line.
I thought. No, I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah. It's like New Zealand and Tonga and all those
Nope.
places are on the other side.
I don't geography.
Okay.
It's just basic math.
And Skasher with 5 gift subs as well. Go ahead. I did the last one, so you get these.
I think you just don't want to pronounce all these beautiful people's names.
I can do them.
Hallow 13, Biode, Goldum, Satyrophodobni, Kritia.
Yeah.
You just gonna stare at the chat for a while?
I am,
Hey,
as they all
chat.
slowly
Hey.
go by.
You're so good.
Minasan,
You're all here,
Eitoro, Yosho.
and you're great. If you're watching this on YouTube later, you're also pretty great.
Yeah.
If you've managed to come all the way through this VOD to this point, past the sub reading, instead of just ditching out, then you got to hear how great you are.
Hosk, why are you still up?
Because it's Lord
I mean, you can
Hosk.
do whatever you want. I'm not going to stop
Lord
you from
Husk
doing
is,
things.
like, does not exist within time and space. Lord Husk exists everywhere.
Yeah. I'd probably putting the kids to bed, actually.
Are they still up? They've never been
keeping
to
them
bed.
up past midnight and then being like, now it is time to put them to bed.
Husk doesn't sleep. Husk doesn't need sleep.
All right, well, I can deal with that too. You're still gonna.
I hope so. It's I mean, it's not really anything you need to deal with.
No.
It doesn't even affect you personally.
It's funny because it's like I could ask most of you too. What are you still doing up? Because some of you are like, oh yeah, I'm already 2 hours into the new year, and it's like, cool.
Some people stay up late.
All right.
Also, apparently, they all wanted to hear anime.
Yeah. Get drunk, smoke weed, watch anime.
Or don't.
Take the day off tomorrow.
Do whatever.
Do whatever you normally do.
Do whatever. I'm just gonna slowly click a button that takes us away
Oh no.
because you apparently don't want to leave.
Oh, Melody Dark says it's 6 p.m. here. I need to start dinner. It's taco night. So it's 6 p.m. where you are.
Great Ducky, thank you for that 13 month resub. Boop.
That means you're 5 hours away from us. Hang on. Oh, it's complicated. I guess most of you are probably in Australia. I have no idea where you are.
Going away now.
Cool. We're going to go away
Good
now.
night. Say good night, Beach.
Good night, everybody.